What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants live stream. Figured I'd change it up tonight, but no. Took yesterday off. Did the live stream. Didn't do a post game video because I was up till 1:30 in the morning talking to you guys. But figured we recap the game, talk about the game coming up this week against Baltimore. Talk about all the current events going around in the NFL. Obviously, Evan Ingram. I don't know how that happened, but it is what it is. I guess I'm happy for him. Maybe it'll up his trade value. Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl along with Bradbury. Bradbury made the Pro Bowl as well. So the Giants got two Pro Bowlers. Last year they got zero. Couple of snubs that a lot of people pointed to. Leonard Williams, Jabril Peppers, some of the members on that defense definitely could have possibly made it. And Ingram ended up getting it, of course, this week. The New York Giants going up against the Baltimore Ravens, one of the better teams in football. Look like they're starting to hit their stride. That is not going to be easy at all. It looks like we'll have Bradbury back. We'll see about Daniel Jones. He remains questionable. And the Giants right now, if you look at the playoff structure, they need a lot of help. You know, you look at Washington right now. Washington has a one-game lead. Of course, we own the tiebreaker. They play Carolina this week. We'll have to wait and see what happens with their quarterback. Of course, Haskins started for them last week, and Haskins, well, he's going to strip clubs. So we'll see if Washington suspends him. Not the best of ideas when you're a guy that's already been benched this year to be going to strip clubs during a pandemic. But maybe they'll drop a game there if Alex Smith can't play against Carolina. Giants still need a lot of help, though, and the Eagles look like they're starting to heat up. Will not be easy to make the playoffs. We're going to touch on that. We'll touch on the offseason as well. I'm sure a lot of you guys got questions about that, which free agents the New York Giants should potentially bring back, draft, everything else. So we'll jump into all of it. Thank you to everybody for being here. Let's say hello to some of the people in the chat. What's going on, Eric? What's going on, Lake Nona? What's going on, Big Play Slay? Chris Leone, Shocky Production, Pete Cintrone, Jameson in the house, Lake Nona in the house. I know that, who else we got in here? I saw Afghanistan was in here. We got a bunch of people in here. What's going on, Dan Big Blue? What's going on, Bill Cower? What's going on, Jay? Thank you for popping in. Kristaps Porzingis, Cool Spin, Spencer in the house, Connex in the house, Manuel in the house. What's going on, my man? Nate, what's up, Nate, man? Thanks for popping in. What's going on, Rowan? What's going on, King Andy? Dusk in the house, man. What's up, Nick the Wick, Hunter, Kristaps Porzingis? Thank you to everybody for being here. Do appreciate it. But yeah, figured I'd get a quick live stream because I'm not going to be here. I'm going away for Christmas tomorrow up to the Poconos, or I guess it's down to the Poconos for 5 days. Won't be back till the 27th. May not even be able to call that game with Bad Dog on Sunday, depending on what time I get back. But I wanted to go on, talk with you guys, kind of recap last week's game. A lot of people got on Joe Judge. Joe Judge came out, talked about the decision to go for it on fourth down. The first one to me is completely unacceptable. His decision to go. I don't mind going for it with a trick play. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you otherwise. I said a couple of weeks ago when we played Seattle with McCoy at quarterback that the Giants needed to think outside the box, and it was completely for them trying to do a trick play. I didn't agree with that trick play. You line your punter up at the quarterback position. It just didn't make sense. It looked completely sloppy. I get going for 7 instead of 3. Didn't agree with the play call there. The 4th and 2, I'm not going to go crazy about. I get it that they need to put up 7. The difference in that game was simple. New York Giants were 0 for 3 in the red zone, and Baltimore was 3 for Baltimore. I'm thinking about this week. Their opponent was 3 for 3 in the red zone. That was the major difference in that football game. But it is what it is. We move on, and now we got Baltimore coming up this week. What's going on, Matthew, man? Thanks for popping in. What's going on, Rafael Duna? I'm fine with the calls. I'm going to back him up either way. Listen, when Judge makes mistakes, Nick, I'm going to call him out for it. I think the first play call was a mistake. I still love Joe Judge. You're going to make mistakes along the way. Head coaches are going to be doubted. He made a mistake, man. What's going on there, Kawhi, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, B, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on there, Ravon, man? Thank you for being here, buddy. What's going on, B, man? What's going on, Coop? Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube, man. Yeah, Ingram made the Pro Bowl. I still can't get over the fact, Ethan, that Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl. It is what it is. I'm happy for him. He seems like a nice guy. But when you looked at the stats at the tight end spot, and I know it's, it's voted. I think the teams voted Ingram in, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was a popularity vote for him. I think Hawkinson got the popularity vote. But you look at the guy over on Green Bay, their tight end, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's got 10 touchdowns. Ingram's got 1. Didn't make a lot of sense that he made the Pro Bowl, but maybe it'll help his trade value a bit. Let's see what we got here. Who we root for in the Dallas vs. Eagles game? Yuri, good question. I would root for Dallas because if Dallas wins, Yuri, we control our own destiny against them. Even if Dallas has a 1-game lead going into week 17, if we beat them, we get in over them because we'd have a better divisional record. We'd be 4-2. They'd be 3-3. So from a playoff perspective, you're rooting for Dallas to win that game. Obviously, you're rooting for Carolina, and you're rooting for the New York Giants to pull up a monumental upset against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's see what we got here. He's not the third. He's not third tight end in the NFC. Not the third best. He might not even be the best tight end on his team this year. Eagles are eliminated. That is not true. They are not officially eliminated, Vincent. Eagles are not officially eliminated this year. The Eagles can still get in if Washington loses out and they win out, and the Giants don't win out. They would get in. The Eagles play Washington the last week. So, hypothetically speaking, if the Giants were to lose this week and the Eagles were to win and Washington were to lose, the Eagles would control their own destiny, actually, going into the last week. Beat Washington, they win the division. So they're still in it, but they need Washington to lose this week. Let's see. We got Robert Tonyan. Yeah, there's the Packers tight end, man. Who do you want to draft at wide receiver? I get asked this question all the time, B-man. It comes down to where we're picking in the draft. I mean, there's so many good receivers that everybody says at the top of the draft. A lot of people point them all out all the time. It depends on where we're picking. If we're picking at the top, obviously Jamar Chase is probably most people's number one. But we'll see where we're picking. We'll see if what we do in free agency. I think wide receiver is definitely going to be addressed, though, whether it's in the first round of the draft or in free agency, one way or the other. Bill Cower, hey, can you guys hire me? You were rumored to be going to the Giants years ago. I remember, Bill Cower, you never came here. Now I've heard rumors, Bill, that you're headed over to the Jets. I saw that. You've been in the broadcast booth for way too long. I want nothing to do with you, Bill, on the New York Giants. But I appreciate the thought, man. You were a great coach back in your day. Zach says, Tana, what would you think about Cordell Patterson? Cordell Patterson, he's fine. He's not a number one. He's not going to make a big impact on this team. Maybe in special teams, he's a good gadget player. He does have familiarity with Judge. He played with the Patriots for a bit. So I do like him as a gadget player. You can line him up at the running back position. He could return kicks. He's not a number one, Zach, but he's not a horrible suggestion if you can get him in here for a cheap price. I don't hate Cordell Patterson. Bye-bye hoodie. Yeah, the hoodie. Maybe the hoodie will come back. But today the hoodie took a day off today. But I'm going to sip some coffee. Is Jones playing? Robert says. As of now, Jones is questionable. Obviously, as the week progresses, we're going to get more and more news on whether or not Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback for the New York Giants this week. But as of now, he's questionable. I think the Giants are going to keep it. Joe Judge came out with a quote this week, and he basically said that he's thinking about his long-term success as well as his immediate success. So he's thinking about his health. So it sounds like they're gonna be, put the kid gloves on, and they're gonna make sure that Daniel Jones is near 100% if they're gonna play him this week. I don't think they're gonna rush him back, and it really doesn't make a lot of sense to do so, to be honest with you. So I think they'll hold him out this week unless he's good to go, and we'll see. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, they'll probably sit him. Afghanistan says. I think they'll sit him. If I had to guess, I think they'll sit him, man. Don't put the hoodie on next week. We'll see how we do. Yeah. Spencer says, would we sign a free agent wide receiver? And if so, who? It's going to – a lot of that's going to depend on if we keep our players. And a lot of that's going to depend on if Dave Gettleman's back, Spencer. And a lot of people seem that Gettleman won't be back. We'll have to wait and see. We got 2 games left, and then that'll be a big topic of discussion at the end of the year. But if Gettleman is not back, Spencer, I would think Leonard Williams may not be back. You bring in a new GM, he may not be willing to pay $17, $18 million for Leonard Williams. And if that's the case, maybe they use that money to go out there and spend it on a big-time wide receiver. We'll have to wait and see, But in terms of the top-tier wide receivers, we know the names. Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay, Corey Davis. Those are the top 3, in my opinion. And if any of them are available for the right price, New York Giants could definitely be interested, much like Plaxico Burress and Eli Manning's second year. But, it's going to come down to the dollars and cents, what they decide to do with their free agents on their football team, whether or not Kevin Zeitler is going to be back. If Zeitler's not back, that frees up $12 million if you cut him, $14 if you're able to trade him. And that would give you money to potentially bring in a wide receiver, but they may keep Zeitler if they don't trust Lemieux and Hernandez. Tana's most asked question, what undrafted free agent wide receiver do you see making the roster? Well, Nick, to be fair, this past offseason, Nick, let me get some coffee. To be fair, this past offseason, Nick, they had like 7 undrafted free agent wide receivers. Not just the big 4 that they brought in. They also brought in Bachman. You had Sills coming back from the previous year. They had like 6 or 7 undrafted free agent wide receivers. And it was such a thin wide receiver core to begin with. So Well, hopefully next year we're not talking about undrafted free agent wide receivers. Hopefully we're talking about two guys we drafted, or one guy we drafted, one guy we signed in free agency. I think the Giants need to double up at that position. We're that thin there, especially anticipating that Golden Tate's going to be cut. And right now, Darius Slayton, to me, has not displayed that he's capable of being a number one wide receiver. Not yet. Not close, to be honest with you. But I do think he could be a good number two. Michael, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He says, sorry if I asked already, what's Bradbury's status? Don't ever apologize, man. And if you did, I didn't see it. Thank you for the $2 donation. As far as Bradbury goes, Bradbury's good to go. He's off the list. Never had COVID. He was on the closed contacts list, but they sat him out as a precaution. It's league protocol. But Bradbury's good to go. He's going to be playing this week. And Bradbury, that's another thing I want to talk about, guys, is I'm watching that game on Sunday, and I don't know what's our biggest need on defense. I really don't, because when Bradbury's out, and I know Darnay Holmes was out as well. Darnay Holmes has been out the last 2 weeks. You really see how thin our secondary is without Bradbury. We could not – everybody was complaining about playing zone coverage. We couldn't play man press because we can't trust our corners. You can't trust Yadam, and you can't trust Love over on the other side. So the question is, because we couldn't get any pressure off the edge either, are we going to go out there and bring in an edge rusher? Is that our number one need, or is it a corner? I think we need both, and we'll see how the New York Giants address it this offseason. But they definitely need depth at that corner spot, and we definitely need an edge rusher right now. But Bradbury will be playing this week against Baltimore. Let's see what we got here. Pass rusher in another corner. I agree, Luann. Is Dog going to – he probably will, Cody. He does every Laker game. I would imagine he's going to do it. JX says, Chris, who are you looking for in the draft if we stay around 13? I mean, again, it depends on what we do in free agency, but I'm looking at a wide receiver more than likely there. And I'm not going to be able to give you a name yet, but probably a wide receiver if I'm picking at 13, because at that point, the elite corners, you're probably not getting the top corner. Surtain, he's going to be gone. I would probably be leaning wide receiver if I'm at that point in the draft, 13. Right now, if you ask me. But again, I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know how the draft board's going to play out. But wide receiver, edge, corner, maybe a coverage linebacker. I think that's what you're looking at in the first round of this year's draft. Keely, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says, Ingram making the Pro Bowl over Tanyan I don't understand it, Keely. I don't understand. I'm not going to complain. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Maybe it helps his trade value. Maybe it ups his confidence. I'm happy for Ingram. He seems like a nice guy. I'm not going to be one of these guys that rains on his parade. But Evan Ingram has no business making the Pro Bowl. And I think Evan Ingram would probably tell you that. It's his first year where he hasn't gotten hurt. He's played a full year, so let's clap it up for that. But he's only got about, I think it was like 540 yards. He's got 1 touchdown. You look at Tanyan, he's got close to the same yards and 9 more touchdowns. Tanyan's only got 3 less touchdowns than Ingram has his entire career this year, and Ingram made the Pro Bowl over him. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it is what it is. If you would have told me the Giants are only going to get 2 Pro Bowlers, I would have said, okay, Bradbury, and then I would have said either Peppers, Martinez, Peppers, Martinez, Logan Ryan, Leonard Williams, even Dexter Lawrence before Evan Ingram. And I maybe even would have said a guy like Kevin Zeitler. Like, he would have been like 8th on my list. And I know that, obviously tight end's, a slim position. So I might have had him in the top 10, but never would have thought in a million years he would have been a Pro Bowler, especially if the Giants only had 2. But congratulations to him, and hopefully it ups his trade value. Tanyan has Rodgers throwing to him. This is true. But Evan Ingram should not be a Pro Bowler, John. Evan Ingram's cost us football games this year. Should not be a Pro Bowler. I think you'd agree with that. Let's see what we got here. We aren't going to draft a quarterback. Get that out of your head, Daniel says. I agree with you. I mean, anything's possible. We're going to have to wait and see what happens at the offseason, Daniel, with the GM. If Gettleman stays on, it's a 0% chance. And it's going to be depending on, if the GM we bring in, if we bring in a new GM that doesn't have ties to the organization, it's at least a possibility. If we hire from within, I think we're keeping the quarterback we've got. Now, the one mistake that ownership made the last time we brought in a GM, that being Gettleman, I think they forced the quarterback on him. I don't think they should do that this time around, because you're going to limit your GM candidates if you are moving on from Gettleman. So that's the first question we got to have answered. Is Gettleman going to be back? And if Gettleman is not going to be back, then it's at least a possibility. I wouldn't say likely, but it's at least a possibility. If Gettleman's back, it's 0% chance. He's not going to be taking a quarterback. Let's see what we got here. Who are the top wide receivers in Chase? Jamar Chase is the best one. Jamar Chase. That's what most people say. You got Smith, you got Waddle, but most people say Jamar Chase. Let's see what we got here. Chris, do you think it's possible that we draft the best player available and trade him away? Well, normally, it does happen where, it happened with the Giants, but that was for quarterbacks where the Chargers drafted a quarterback and then, we drafted a quarterback and we swapped them. But normally you don't draft the player. You normally just trade the pick before you pick. That's the way it works. The Giants, and again, it's going to be dependent on where we're picking. If we're 19, obviously not. But if we're, say we get the 6th pick, 7th pick. Let's just say that happens. Right now we're at 10. And we're not taking a quarterback, and there's not a guy there we're in love with, it may be the right draft to trade down. There's supposed to be 4 pretty good quarterback prospects in this year's draft, and you look around the league, there are a lot of needy teams at that position. So if the Giants were not taking a quarterback, it may make a ton of sense. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why it would make a ton of sense for the Giants to trade down. Say we're picking 6, right? 2 reasons why it makes sense. 1, we got a lot of holes, and the more assets you get, the better. But if you're able to get future draft capital for 2021, like say a team like the Colts, right? They want to trade up from, 22 to 8. Let's just, whatever. And they give us a future first-round pick, a second-round pick, whatever it is. Now you have more draft capital for 2021 in case Jones doesn't work out to couple that and move up and get your quarterback. You want to have as much ammunition as you can in 2021 with it being at least a possibility that you may have to trade up to get a quarterback. So that's why it could make a lot of sense. But it's all going to depend on the possible trade partners. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully Daniel Jones takes off, becomes the best quarterback at football, and we don't even have to think about it. But I do think we could be in a position to potentially trade down in this draft if we're not going quarterback. What's going on, German brothers, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Do you think we fire Jason Garrett? He's been the flavor of the month. He's been the guy that everybody's been blaming. Everybody's been blaming for everything. And I'm not a guy that likes to point the finger at one specific guy. I've never been that way. People say that the offense ran better this week. They only scored 6 points, but we did get into enemy territory, I think, on 4 of our drives or 5 of our drives. And we definitely moved the ball, and we threw the ball more down the field with Freddie Kitchens. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know with Jason Garrett. I've been on record as saying all offseason that that I don't want Jones to have 3 schemes in 3 years. It's just not practical. It's not beneficial for your quarterback. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm going to trust the coaching staff. I'm going to trust the New York Giants. And if they feel that a new system is going to get the most out of their players, I'm going to go along with it and hope that they make the right decision. The offense has not performed well under Jason Garrett. Some of that has to do with the talent around him, and I'm sure some of that has to do with the play calling. We'll see. We'll see. I think it was definitely a Mara-influenced hire. I don't think it was a Judge hire. You look around the coaching staff, everyone else has connections to Judge outside of him and pretty much Colombo. So I think that, and I understood the signing. He had success as an offensive coordinator, and he was a veteran presence. You had a rookie head coach who was 38 years old coming onto this staff. You wanted a guy that has head coaching experience to show him the ropes and to teach him things. So I think that I still understand the Garrett move as the OC, but the offense has not worked out this year. And, I wouldn't be surprised either way if he's back or if he's not. I wouldn't be surprised either way. German brothers, man, thank you so much, man, for the 349 super sticker, a little fist bump. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Let's see. Chris, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Evan Ingram doesn't show up and no Pro Bowl game makes sense. You should have tweeted that, Chris. That's a good tweet. I like that. Yeah, he doesn't show up, and there won't be a Pro Bowl game. It'll be a Madden simulation. So that's why they picked him. Thanks, Chris, man. I appreciate it, man. If we happen to move on from Gettleman, which options do we have to bring in? Jesse, there's a couple of guys from the outside. Obviously, you can hire from the inside. And if you look at the New York Giants history, they hire from the inside. That's what they've done. I'm not – I think, of course, he was from the inside, too. I could be wrong on that. Maybe somebody in the chat could correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I know, obviously, Reese was, and so was Gettleman. They were both originally with the Giants as scouts. So, historically, that's what they do. Abrams has been a name that frequently comes up if you're going to hire from within the organization. If you're going from without, guys like Dodds and Caserio from the Patriots, those have been some common names. Who knows? I still am leaning that they're going to keep Gettleman. I'm not going to be shocked either way, though. I think there's arguments on both sides. And we'll see at the end of the offseason, man. I think there's legitimate arguments on both sides. So we'll see at the end of the offseason how the New York Giants elect to go forward with the general manager position. Let's see what we got here. My greatest fear is possibly losing Patrick Graham on a team offering him a head coaching position. Yeah, Jay. I mean, I've been talking about that for a few weeks, and he's done a tremendous job with the defense. He's been our most impressive coach, as far as I'm concerned, on the coaching staff. And yeah, I fear that as well. I don't think it's going to happen, though, in the end. I really don't. You haven't really heard his name start to be linked to teams with coaches, and normally you would start to hear that. Maybe it will, maybe it won't happen. I think Graham in the end is going to stay. Especially with the team not playing well down the stretch. But we'll see. I hope he stays. He's obviously very good friends with Judge. Judge was able to lure him over here after he was in a pretty good position with the Miami Dolphins, even though they revoked his play calling duties. I hope he's back. We're definitely going to need him. He's done a tremendous job here with the New York Giants, Shay. Tana can cover. John says Tana can cover. I don't think so. I don't think so, John. One thing I'm going to give Evan Ingram credit for, John. Evan Ingram can move. Evan Ingram could get open. He's not easy to cover. I'm gonna give him credit for that. He's definitely a mismatch, but the guy drops balls, and he's gotten better at the blocking, but he's still not the best of blockers. But the guy drops balls, and he's got an injury history. But in terms of getting open, he does a decent job at that. Did Jameson say he was leaving? Jameson, have a good one, buddy. Let's see what we got here. Tana, how is Pat Graham so good? All he does is play soft zone. I don't understand. I'm going to take a second to think about that question. Cone, have you seen the talent on this defense? Cone, have you seen the players that are playing for this defense right now? O'Shane Zimenez is out. Lorenzo Carter's out. They're starting 2 7th-round picks at the edge rusher position. This past week, James Bradbury wasn't playing. You were starting 2 guys that were flipping burgers a week ago. I think they're still probably top 10 sacks. They were up until, I think, last week. They held one of the best offenses in football, the Seattle Seahawks, to basically nothing. The defense has definitely exceeded expectations, and he doesn't just play soft zone. He plays zone, just like every other defense in football. I don't get this. I don't get this thing from Giants fans, and I hear from Bad Dog, I hear from a lot of Giants fans yelling about zone coverage. Every defense in the NFL plays zone coverage. Every defense in the NFL plays zone coverage. I promise you that. No matter what defensive coordinator you bring in here, they're going to play zone coverage. And the reason that he doesn't play more man probably than he wants to is because he doesn't have a second cornerback. He can't trust Yadam. And that's why they don't blitz as much as they like. It's why I've been very outspoken into saying that I think we need to get a much better cornerback on the second side, especially when you have an aggressive mindset like Patrick Graham with this defense. I think Patrick Graham has done a tremendous job with the New York Giants. I think he's done as good as you could have possibly hoped for on defense this year. He's been our best coach, in my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Tana, where would this team have been if we drafted Nelson and Chubb in 2018? If we drafted Nelson and Chubb in 2018, well, one, we probably trade down. I don't think we were going to take Nelson at 2, but let's just hypothetically say we stayed at 2 and we took him and Chubb. We'd be in a better spot. I mean, we'd be in a better spot. Would we be in the playoffs? Maybe, maybe not. But we'd be in a better spot. Yeah, we'd definitely be in a better spot. Quentin Nelson's probably the best guard in football. Nick Chubb is a top 5-6 running back. We'd be in a much better position. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that. We'd be in a much better position. Let's see what we got here. That is the reason we don't blitz it all that much. Second cornerback issue. Yep, Lloyd. You look around the Patriots. You look around teams that run a defense like this. They have strong corner play. And I'm not telling you it's the premier need that we have. Some people may disagree with me. I definitely understand the edge rusher argument, but we need strong corner play to run the defense that we want to run. We need strong corner play. So that's why I've been outspoken about getting a good second corner. Let's see what we got here. Love the camo hat. Well, I appreciate that, Mr. Nightingale. Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Happy holidays, by the way, to everybody. Thank you guys for popping in the stream. Happy holidays to everybody. Chris, new mascot will be Sick Goat. Should it be male or female? Baruch says. Chris says Graham is good because he gets what he can out of what he has instead of stubbornly sticking with his scheme a la Maca Fat. See, I didn't call him Maca Fat. I called him Maca Shit. You called him Mac a fat. I called him Ben Mac a shit. But yeah, I mean, Mac a fat, Mac a slick back hair, Mac a mushroom haircut. Was never really a fan of him. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what great coaches do. They get the most out of their talent, and they get the most out of their players. Mighty Mango Man, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in. Hey, Chris, just a little to help support your channel. Love it. Go Big Blue, Mighty Mango Man. Thank you so much, man. I had a pleasure talking to you on the member stream. I'm definitely going to try to do one of those in about 2 or 3 weeks again. Thank you for all the support on the channel, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your holiday, man. Let's see what we got here. German Brothers, man. Thank you very much, man. If Garrett goes, I saw some names on G-Men HQ, like Kafka, Gruden. Gruden would make sense, German Brothers. Gruden makes sense if we stick with Daniel Jones. He wanted Daniel Jones by all accounts. That came out after the fact when he was with, they were called the Redskins then, now the football team. He wanted Daniel Jones. That was rumored that he was a big fan of his. So I actually talked about Gruden as a possibility this year as an offensive coordinator when the coaching search began. I think he's a good fit if we're sticking with Daniel Jones. There's several other guys you could point to, but he's one of them. So, but the thing is, would he leave? You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's a really good fit. I do think it's a really good fit. Man, Gil, man, thank you so much. Gil's I always say it. Gil is my first member I've ever had. I always try to shout that out whenever I see him. And I know he loves the play-by-plays. I'm going to be doing all the playoff game play-by-play, or not all, but most. I'm not going to do 3 in the same day. I'll probably pick 2 on Wild Card Saturday and Sunday, but I'm going to be doing a ton of them. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man, with the super sticker. What I don't even know what that is. What is it? I'm imagining, I can't see his eyes because the sunglasses, but I'm imagining he's like pissed off because his arms are crossed. He's like with the sunglasses on. Gil, man, thank you so much, man, for all the support on the channel, man. Thank you for coming here, buddy. Check out Piggy's when you're in the Poconos. Unbelievable breakfast spot. I'll have to check it out, John. I'll have to check that out for sure. I haven't been to the Poconos in years, actually, but with the pandemic and everything, we're getting like an empty house that's been like, you know, they clean it up. Nobody's been there for like months. How much money do we have entering the offseason, Rafat says. Rafat, one request. Just don't spam. I'll try to get to your questions. And yeah, you'll be back. But yeah, just don't spam. As far as the money in the offseason right now, and it's all up of projections. We got about $18 to $22 million, depending on where you look. But we don't know what the salary cap's going to be. You know, it might be frozen, whatever. But let's just say we got 20, and then we have moves that we can make that could get us, you know, high 40s, low 50s in cap space. Keely, man, thank you very much, man. Gruden ain't leaving the Jags with Lawrence joining. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I would love Gruden, but I agree with you. He's probably not going to leave. Probably not going to leave, especially if they get the first pick. And I felt let's talk about that. I felt so bad for the Jets. I have several friends of mine that are Jets fans, man. I felt so bad that they won that football game because, you know, 0-13, that's what you're thinking about. Let's see what we got here. Bradbury jersey or Peppers jersey? Tell me which one to buy. That's a really tough question. I think I'd go with Peppers. I think I'd pick Peppers. They're both tremendous. I think there's a higher probability that Peppers is here longer. I do think they're going to extend him as long as he stays healthy next year. Bradbury's only got 2 years left on his deal, and then the Giants will have to decide whether or not they're going to keep him after that. I'd go with Peppers. I like Peppers a lot. I think he's definitely on the come up. I think he's getting much better. Let's see what we got here. That is a really good question, though. Slink, what's going on, man? He said, entertaining local sports. If the Giants fire Garrett, do you get rid of Jones? I kind of think you should keep both or dump both for next year. Slink, it's a really good question. You know, for all that, you know, for the fan base is incredibly divided with Daniel Jones. I shouldn't say. There's a portion of the fan base that thinks Daniel Jones is absolutely the guy. I am not one of them. There's a portion of the fan base that thinks Daniel Jones is definitely not the guy. I am not one of them. And then there's a portion of the fan base that's like, well, he doesn't look so good yet, but I want to wait and see how he develops in year 3, maybe, you know, with better weapons around him and everything else and give him a real opportunity. And I'm kind of there. But as far as Garrett and Jones goes, yeah, I mean, for everybody that is gung-ho about Daniel Jones, if Jason Garrett loses his job, if Dave Gettleman loses his job, that's not good for Daniel Jones' future because Judge has no connections to him. The OC you'd be bringing in would have no connections to him, and the new GM would have no connections to him. So not good for Jones if all those guys get fired. Keely, man, thank you very much. Ed Dodds, Colts assistant GM. Yeah, I'm a fan of his as well. A lot of people like him. They built a tremendous offensive line there with the Indianapolis Colts. People rave about him. I'd be a fan of him. If we're going from the outside, that'd be a guy I got my eye on. Clara says Daniel Jones, I don't see as a franchise quarterback. Right now, I don't see it yet either, Clara, to be honest with you. I think he could be. I'm not going to completely write him off, but right now I don't see it yet either. Not yet. But not a stream question, but has anyone in here get a PS5? Fabian. I saw Fabian say that I ignore him, so I saw him there. I wanted to pull him up real quick. He wasn't talking to me, but I did not get a PS5 yet. I actually, with the stimulus check, I'm probably going to buy one. I know I told you guys I want to get a PS5 so I could stream a little bit here and there with rebuilds and things like that, so probably going to get one of those. How would you feel about signing Riddick, a hybrid edge that fits nicely and he's cheap? He absolutely destroyed us a couple weeks ago. What do you have, 5 sacks in that game? What's going on, Lamel Sinclair, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. He had like 5. He's a former first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of a guy that's been underwhelming in the NFL. I remember I was doing a video. I think when I was doing free agency videos, I said that the Giants should look at him as a potential one-year deal. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, because I can't remember. I feel like he wasn't extended on his rookie deal, or maybe that was the upcoming season. Maybe that's what it was. But, yeah, he's a guy with some ability, some upside. Actually, not a bad name. Somebody I haven't really thought about. I talked about him last offseason, I remember. Yeah, for the right price, maybe he does make sense. I'd have to look into his injury history and everything else, but that's the type of player that I could definitely see us looking at in free agency. I think he's a pretty good fit. Let's see what we got. Oh, just make sure I didn't lose here. Chris, I'm actually taping the game, JMG. So a number of my subscribers said you got to watch this kid. I'm actually taping the game. I'm going to watch it later tonight. Zach Wilson, the quarterback of BYU. I'm gonna check it out later tonight. I am taping the game, and I have seen highlights of him. He's got a lot of talent. I still don't think he'll be a Giant though. Dusk, what's going on? He said, "Then Talking Sports, what up? Do you think the Giants defense will only get better next year?" A lot of factors go into that. Who's coming back? Is Patrick Graham staying on as a defensive coordinator? A lot of factors go into that. I think we will have a good defense. I don't know if it'll be better. I got to wait and see what they do in the offseason, who's coming back, everything else. But as long as we have this coaching staff intact, I believe that we're going to get the most out of our players. So I think in the draft, they're probably going to look to either the draft or free agency. We're going to try to add 1 or 2 premier pieces on defense. And the younger guys should be more experienced. So I think we should be better. But you never know, year by year basis. I think they'll be at worst an average defense next year, though. Chris, we definitely need a wide receiver for sure. Mighty Mango Man, thank you very much. Hey, Chris, my son known as Big Bang. Oh, Big Bang's awesome. Big Bang's been on my channel forever. Turned me on to your channel, and he's the biggest diehard Giants fan I know. Yeah, Big Bang's in my streams all the time. He's awesome, man. Well, thank you for checking out my channel. I appreciate that, Mighty Mango. Yeah, your son's been a big supporter of my channel for a while. J Moto, what's going on, man? Hey, Dana, do we consider trading Barkley next year? That's the most popular question I ever get. Listen, man, every player has a price. Okay, so I'm never going to say no. Every player has a price. I don't care how good you are. If the right deal comes along, you do it. But I don't see it happening because he's coming off the injury. I don't think you'd get near what you'd be willing to trade him for. It obviously becomes more likely, much like Daniel Jones, if Gettleman is relieved of duty because Gettleman drafted Barkley. Not every general manager is going to value Barkley as much as Gettleman may have. So that would up the probability, but I still don't think it'll happen. If they're going to trade Barkley, I think it'll be before the 2022 season, not in 2021. I just don't think the value's there. And we'll see what happens, man. I'm hoping at the end of the year, the New York Giants have the option to either extend him or trade him, because that would mean he played a full 16 games. He looked good. He rebounded. And then the New York Giants will have that decision. But I don't think they'll trade him this year. Let's see what we got here. Jameson, man, have a good one, buddy. I see Alphabet's in here, man. What's up, Alphabet? Do we pick up Saquon's fifth-year option? I think you have to. And I'm going to give you the reason why. People have asked me that. I'm not sure exactly what the dollars and cents are. I know that we extended Ingram. He was like 6 or 7. Peppers was about the same. But Barkley was obviously, a second overall pick. I don't know what it would be. He's getting about $10 million next year. So let's just say it goes up to 12. I think you have to do it. I'm going to tell you why. Even with him coming off the injury, if you don't extend him and your plan is to at least be open to trading him in the offseason, you're not going to have near it's much more valuable to another team to have the ability to have him under control for one more year. So if you could get him on that 1 year, $12 million extension, I think you extend him before the year starts. You obviously hope he stays healthy, and then you decide whether or not you want to give him a real extension or move on. But I think you do need to extend him before the year starts on the 5th-year option of his rookie deal. That's what I would do. Ash Money, man, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in, man. If we get a good number 1 wide receiver in free agency or in the draft, watch Barkley go up next year. You can't load the box when you have weapons. Ash Money. Barkley, to me, I think people forget how talented Saquon Barkley is. And people look at the first game and a half this year, and, well, people forget the second game. He actually played well. He had 30 yards on 4 carries, and he lost like 2 yards on his first carry. First game, he did nothing, but Pittsburgh stacked the box. The year before, he was banged up for the majority of the year. He wasn't really himself till the final 3 or 4 games. And the big question with Barkley, much like Jones, is his injuries. You know, you got to see if he's going to stay healthy. But I have no doubt in my mind, if Barkley's healthy, he's an elite running back. I still believe that, especially with this improved offensive line. So I'm with you. I think Barkley, especially if you go out and you get him a top-tier wide receiver on the outside, if Barkley is Barkley, which we don't know if he will be, by all accounts, it may take another year for him to fully recover. It was a really bad injury. But if he's Barkley, Barkley's going to have a big year with the improved offensive line if you go out there and get him a premier wide receiver where they can't stack the box. I'm in complete agreement with you on that. I think you build the offense around Saquon Barkley. I pointed out the stats in one of my videos. I tweeted it out. And, you know, some of it's circumstantial, you know, different schemes. But to be fair, Daniel Jones without Barkley in the Shermer scheme last year had 3 touchdowns and 6 picks in 3 games. In the 9 games with him, he had 21 touchdowns and 6 picks. This year, he's thrown 8 touchdowns. 2 came in the only game that Barkley played. He only threw 6 touchdowns when Barkley doesn't play. 2 came against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the best defense in football. So I think Barkley definitely is a big part of this offense. I do. I think that it's a guy that the opposing team needs to game plan for, and it helps your quarterback. So I think Barkley, if he's healthy, will be a big boost for this offense next year. There's no doubt in my mind. John, man, thank you very much, man. Do you think Ingram being on the Pro Bowl is to boost his price? Well, I don't think that's why he made the Pro Bowl, but what I will say is him making the Pro Bowl may be a result of that, possibly. I hope. Maybe a team sees, he made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, I'll give a 5th-round pick, 4th-round pick for him, or whatever, you know, the Giants feel is fair value if you elect to trade him. But no, I think he legitimately got elected by the people in the league. Blue Collar, man, what's going on, man? Thank you very much. Which statement is true? A, Garrett offense is weak. B, DJ ceiling is backup at best. C, the offense does not have enough talent. D, all the above. I'm going to say B is inconclusive on Daniel Jones. I cannot definitively say he's a backup at best yet. Definitely can't say that yet, in my personal opinion. So I'll say inconclusive. I'm not going to say true or false yet. I think he needs to prove more. As far as Garrett offense is weak, yeah, I think his play calling's been hit or miss this year. But again, much like with Daniel Jones doesn't have a lot of work to work with. Neither does Jason Garrett. Do I think Garrett, if he had a team like he did with Dallas with a really strong offensive line, could he have a successful offense? Yes. I just don't think it's a good fit here with the Giants right now. The offense does not have enough talent. That, to me, is the truest statement by far of what you said. I would go C for sure is by far the truest statement. And the other, the Jones is inconclusive. Christopher, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Quarterback should be in the first round looking at next year's schedule. Vegas, Kansas City, Dallas, Denver, Tampa Bay. Well, we'll see what Brady looks like next year. Denver's definitely got some good young wide receivers. Dallas, of course, we know what they got. Kansas City, forget about it. You got to pray before you play them. And Vegas, of course, they drafted 9 wide receivers in the first round last year. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be playing teams that are gonna be looking to air it out. They got a young wide receiving core that should only be better next year. But you can't just draft of next year's schedule. I just think it's a definitive need, regardless of who we're playing. Whether we do it in the first or not. Maybe we do it in the second. Maybe we do it in free agency. Clocks, man, what's going on, my man? Bro, give me a triple anchor, and I will time out all the You will see these power hungry guys stop immediately. I'm King Mod. Yeah, Clocks, listen, man, it may have been a glitch by YouTube. By the way, I had a number of people tell me that. So I may not be seeing your comments right now because there's a good amount of people in here. I have a lot of people on Instagram, on Twitter telling me that they were blocked on my channel. I don't know if it's a glitch by YouTube, but I unblocked everybody, so you shouldn't be blocked anymore. And I apologize if you were. Could have been one of my mods, could have been YouTube. So I unblocked everybody. And if it persists, I will. I'll make some changes. New York Giants, man. Thank you very much. I am 12. I'm 12 years old. New York Giants. No, I'm 35. I'm 35 years old. Thank you for the love, man. I appreciate it, buddy. Bobby Woodward, what's going on, my man? Hi, Chris, my friend. You were awesome. Everybody in the chat, say hi to Bobby. Everybody in the chat, say hi to Bobby. Bobby, how you doing, Bobby? What's going on, Bobby, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Let's see what we got here. Crimson, what's going on, my man? He says Zach Wilson is going off tonight. Really want him. Yeah, he seems to be the guy. Albin, I see you, man. You're not blocked, man. He seems to be the guy that everybody's in love with, Crimson. Listen, he's a project from everything that I've read, but he's got high upside. And I'm not in favor of drafting the quarterback this year personally. I want to build the rest of the roster. But that's the type of quarterback. If I was a GM, Crimson, and I'm not saying Zach Wilson specifically, but if I'm drafting a first-round quarterback, I'm going for the home run. I'm going for the home run or a strikeout type quarterback. I want the high ceiling prospect. That's what I would want. A guy like Josh Allen, for example. That's the type of quarterback I'd be looking for if I was a GM from 3 years ago. A guy that is, boom or bust. Because if he's a boom, he could carry your football team. And I think that's what Josh Allen's evolving into. And that seems to be the type of quarterback by, what most people say that Zach Wilson could be. That's what Pat Mahomes was. So that's the type of quarterback prospect I'd be looking for if I was a GM. What's going on, Sunday? What's going on, King Trizzy, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got. Chip Kelly, what's up, buddy? Let's see what we got here. I will give Jones one more year. If we are good, I keep him. And if he plays bad, I dump him. Tana, what do you think? That's basically what I've said the last couple of weeks. That's basically what I've said. I give him another year. This offseason for me is the no excuse Daniel Jones offseason. If I'm the general manager for the New York Giants, I give him everything he could possibly need under the sun. Everything he could possibly need, I give it to him. You need a number one wide receiver, you're getting it. You need a better scheme, you're getting it. You're getting everything you need because I need to find out whether or not you're the guy after year 3. I don't want to have question marks anymore. I can't keep doing that with your rookie contract coming up. So this offseason, my mission, if I'm the GM, is to get him everything he could possibly need to be a successful quarterback in the NFL. And if he still can't, he's not your guy. And Polanco, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, Chris, why does everyone want to build through defense? If we load up on offense, it helps us determine our quarterback. We can't win games without an offensive line and wide receiver. If we get rid of Tate, ideally, we need 2 more wide receivers. That's basically what I just said. I do still think we need to shore up the defense as well. But I agree. We need to bring in a wide receiver at a bare minimum, a top-tier wide receiver. And I'm kind of with you. I'd like to bring in 2, maybe 1 in free agency, 1 in the draft. Not, if you're going first round in the draft, maybe not a top-tier wide receiver, but somebody, an affordable wide receiver possibly. But I agree with you. And I think Tate will be cut as he should be. It's a dollars and cents thing. It has nothing to do with performance, even though he hasn't been good this year, really. Dyer, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, what's up, Tana? Always good to talk Giants ball. Love what you do. To have a home run offseason, what are you thinking? As far as blocking people, I own. Oh, I know you. No. I know you wouldn't do that, Dyer, Giants fan. I honestly think it's possible it's a glitch with YouTube. Or it's somebody that may have posed as somebody and did it. Who knows? I'll see if it happens again. If it happens again, I'll knock it down to, people I know I can trust. But as far as the home run offseason goes, obviously I'm going to be talking a lot more about this as the offseason gets going. And a lot of this is going to have to do with whether or not Dave Gettleman's going to be back as our general manager. Diehard, because that changes everything. But a home run offseason to me, we bring Leonard Williams back, but for the right price. We don't pay him $20 million a year. If we can get him for 15, 16 on a 3-year deal, I'm thrilled with that. If he wants 19 or 20, I let him go. We're all right. A home run, a dream offseason. We're able to have enough money while still bringing back Leonard Williams to get a top-tier wide receiver, to get Allen Robinson. You get Allen Robinson, you bring back Leonard Williams. I might let Tomlinson walk and I like Tomlinson. Oh, but if I would rather have the primetime wide receiver. I think Tomlinson's replaceable. I think we have depth on this defensive line, but it's going to come down to whether or not you can bring in a wide receiver like that. We're talking about a dream offseason. So there, maybe you bring back some of your other smaller pieces, but you get a top tier, top flight wide receiver in free agency. And then in the draft, again, depending on where we're picking, you take the BPA. You take the best available corner, or you take if you already signed a wide receiver, you go defense. In my opinion, you either go corner or you go edge or possibly a linebacker. That to me would be a really good start to the offseason. Yeah, that would be a really good start to the offseason. And a backup quarterback. I've talked about that as well. I want to get a pretty solid backup quarterback as well. And then, we'll see what happens with guys like Dahlman and guys like that. Ash Money, man, thank you very much. Even if we sign Allen Robinson or Corey Davis, I'm still going receiver first round. The more, the merrier. I understand the logic. I don't think I'd do that. If I'm going to spend big money on a wide receiver, I don't think I'd commit a first round pick. I have no problem going second or third round, maybe, especially if Golden Tate's gone. Not first round. I need to address my other needs on this team if I spend the most of my free agency money on a wide receiver. That's just my opinion. And I'm a fan of Corey Davis, by the way. It's going to depend on dollars and cents, but I've been talking about him for a while. I'm a big fan of Corey Davis, and that was before this year where he had a breakout year. That may up his price tag, though. Let's see what we got here. Is my daddy going to get fired? Did I get stalked by Manish Mehta for nothing? Wyatt Gaze, I'm assuming you're the son of Adam Gaze. First off, you don't have your dad's eyes, Wyatt. You don't have your dad's eyes. Your dad would be like this. You don't look like your dad, Wyatt. But as far as your dad, yeah, you're probably going to be relocating, Wyatt. I'm sorry to bring tears to your eyes. You're probably moving to somewhere else in the country, Wyatt. I don't think you'll be in New York or New Jersey or wherever you live right now. I think your dad's on the way out, Wyatt. Let's see what we got here. Attention, all. If you tell Chris or the mods to go F themselves, you will be timed out or banned. Don't cry about it. Record. What's going on, Waterfly, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Hit up John Hillman on Insta. He's the plug for PS5s. I asked him. Okay, well, yeah, people have asked me to try to hit him up before, man. What's going on there, Slurpee, man? Thank you for popping in the Sports Influencer. Go check him out. He does a ton of mock drafts. Chris, can we draft the quarterback this year? Sit him bench. If we're taking a quarterback this year in the first round, Daniel Jones is gone. You're not taking a first-round quarterback to keep Daniel Jones. Now, if you take one in the third round or the fourth round, that's possible. But if you draft one in the first, if you're making that big of an investment with the holes we have on this team, and you're going to spend a first-round pick on a quarterback, Daniel Jones is gone. He's not going to be here. We're going to trade him in the offseason if you were to do that. I got to think this guy's a troll. This guy's got to be a troll. This guy's either a troll or he's a guy who, he's a Madden player. He's either a troll or a guy that plays Madden 24/7. One or the other. Samuel. Let's see what we got here. Dan, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. The wide receiver class is even deeper than last year. You can still get crazy upside in rounds 3 to 4. I know the top guys are tempting, but we don't force it. I wouldn't force it either, Dan, to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't force it. I know it's a need, but I'm never in favor of forcing a first round pick. Obviously, in an ideal world, you want BPA to fit need. Sometimes it's a little bit off, but I am not for forcing a wide receiver pick. I'm in agreement with you on that. Everything you hear is it's one of the deepest wide receiver class in years. I'm with you. Depends on where we're picking. If it matches our need and best available player, you take one. But I agree with you. You don't force it. If there's a much better player at a different position that is also a need, a la cornerback, edge rusher, linebacker, you take him. You don't reach on the wide receiver. I'm in agreement with you on that. What's up, Cheese Whiz, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Samuel Weber says, I am not the same Samuel as the other guy. I love Joe Judge. He is giving Samuel everywhere a bad rap. Chip Kelly says, why are we talking offseason when we got a playoffs to win? Oh, Chip. Hey, we still may make the playoffs, Chip. How you doing there, fella? We still may make the playoffs, Chip. Score prediction against the Ravens. All right, I'll give it to you if Daniel Jones is playing. I'm going to be honest. I think we're going to struggle. I don't see how we're going to stop their run. I really don't, especially after seeing how we went up against Kyler Murray. And I hope I'm wrong. I'll go Baltimore by about 10. I'll go like 27-17, something like that. Something like that. I hope I'm wrong, but I'll go like 27-17 Baltimore. German brothers, man, thank you so much, man. Tana, 3:30 a.m. in Germany. I'm out, my man. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Happy holidays, everyone. German brothers, man, you as well. Thank you so much for being here. 3:30, man. I really appreciate the support, man. Thank you for staying up. Thank you for being such a great supporter on the channel. Get some freaking sleep, you freaking lunatic. Get some freaking sleep, my man. I thought I was crazy. Have a good night, my man. Have a happy holiday. Clocks, what's going on, man? Chris, why does Rover's opinion change weekly? On Gettle and DJ. You know I don't like either one. Stay the course. O-line, D-line, cover corners, weekend with him. Listen, Rover's like most New York fans, Cox. You look at most Giant YouTubers, most Giant fans, they're week to week. That's Rover. That's Rover, man. But I love Rover. He's a great guy. Cox, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Crimson, man, thank you very much, man. After the past few years, I think the best wide receivers are found in the second. They end up getting shadowed by the big name players. I did a video on this, Crimson, last offseason. I don't remember what the video was, but I did like I was trying to go over positional value in the draft. And I went, I looked over, I think it was from 2007 to 2017. It was a 10-year sample size. And I gave it like a 2 or 3 year buffer for guys to make the Pro Bowl. And I think there were, we'll say about 60 Pro Bowlers in that 10-year sample size at the wide receiver position. 2/3 of them were in the second round or later. 66%. It was by far, that and the running back were by far the biggest discrepancy from first round and second to seventh. I think it was like 40 Pro Bowlers second round or beyond, 20 Pro Bowlers in the first round, or it was 1/3 and 2/3, whatever the numbers were. The offensive tackle, for example, was like the opposite. Yeah, the quarterback was like the opposite. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I mean that's just common sense to me. That's a position traditionally you get more value later in the draft. That guy Jose, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, buddy. What's going on, my man? Thank you for popping in the stream. He says 2 favorite players on offense and defense this season. Mine are Morris, the actual play. Okay, Morris touchdown catch for Seattle and Crowder fumble recovery touchdown against Dallas. My favorite offensive play, believe it or not, if Jones doesn't stumble, that would have been my favorite, but he stumbled. I will go with the touchdown throw to Slayton actually against the Steelers week 1. The play action pass, he lit him up for like a 50-yard touchdown. I'll go with that one. Week 1. I will go with that one. And in terms of the defensive play, I'd have to think about that. There's been a number of great defensive plays. Bradbury's made a couple of really nice interceptions. I'll go with the scoop and score. Is that what you said? I forgot what you said. Did you say the scoop and score by Tate Crowder? That's what I would go with. Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, I would go with the scoop and score by Tate Crowder, and I'll go with the touchdown throw to Darius Slayton. Stand up, new member Sunday. Thank you so much. Sunday's always supporting not just me. She's in a number of Giants YouTubers streams all the time. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I've been wondering how to be one for the longest. Well, there you go. And I do member streams like once a month, so you'll be able, you just go to the community tab. You'll get to see it. So thank you for joining. I really do appreciate that. I'm going with the Fackrell pick 6. That's a good one as well. That's a good one too. Default. Big Daddy, what's going on, man? He says too many GMs reach for wide receivers in the first round. I'm with you, and I would completely understand it to be on board with it with this team because it's such a big need right now. But I'm with you. Traditionally, I'm not a fan at all in taking a wide receiver in the first round. And even with this team, I'm not in favor of reaching for one. If it just so happens that the BPA is a wide receiver or close to the BPA is a wide receiver, I'm completely on board with it, but I'm not for reaching for one. And I'm with you. I mean, in terms of importance for a position, Big Daddy, I value quarterback, obviously, is 1. Left tackles 2. Edge rushers 3. Cornerback for me is 4. Like a lockdown corner, I would put it 4. I'd probably put then like an interior lineman, maybe at 5, and possibly even a coverage linebacker before I even start to get to the wide receivers. That's just my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Anyone tracking that rookie quarterback in Detroit? He started off slow, Lamel. I don't know how he's been doing since. He started off slow, though. I know that. I think he was banged up to start the year, if I'm not mistaken. You're talking about Jeff Okudah. I am not sure he's been doing recently, but I'm pretty sure he started off slow. Cheese Whiz says, Tana, you looking hot today. Why is it always, I'm assuming you're a male. Why is it always the males that do it to me? Why? Socks, man, thank you so much for popping in. He says, Merry Christmas, Tana. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Thank you for being such a great supporter on the channel. Looking forward to talking sports with you in the future, man. Tots just got a good laugh. What's going on, Tots? My favorite play was Daniel Jones' own fumble recovery. Okay. What's going on, Alvin? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. And Fix the O-Line says, when is Steph coming back on your show? Simple alert. I'll have her back on. I mean, you guys got a kick out of that. I'll have her back on. Yeah, I talked to her on Twitter, so I'll have her back on if you guys want. Maybe one of these streams in the off season. Blue Collar, man, thank you very much, man. Starters gone. Dalvin, Tate, Zeitler, Ryan, not easy. Starters gone. Dalvin, Tate, Zeitler, Ryan, not easy. Oh, you're saying, yeah, those will be the starters gone this offseason. I think Tate is definitely going to be gone. Zeitler, I'm not sure. Zeitler, and I know Fix the O-Line is a big fan of keeping Zeitler. I'm like 50-50 on Zeitler. I'm not sure what they're going to do there. I think Ryan's going to be gone, and I love Ryan. I think he's done a great job. I just don't – it's dollars and cents. It's business. I'm leaning that he'll be gone. Maybe he's willing to come back on a cost-effective deal, but he's getting up there in age. If he has an opportunity to sign a contract, he's got to do it. Dalvin, I would say 50-50 as well. But I think a lot of it's going to depend on Gettleman. Gettleman coming back, that has a lot to do with it too. But I wouldn't be shocked if all those guys are gone. But I would say the most likely to be back is probably Zeitler out of those four, and possibly maybe Dalvin is the second most likely out of those four. Tate, I think, is definitely gone. Ryan, I think, is likely gone. Oh, there you go. My first female compliment of the stream. She says, well, from a female, you look great. Very nice eyes and lips. Well, I appreciate that, Sunday. Yeah, Eli says, if we end up with number 14 and Trey Lance falls to us, do we draft him? God, I'm going to say, again, is get him in the GM. But I honestly, in my heart, do not think we're taking a quarterback in this year's draft. I honestly do not. I really don't. I don't have a beard. Do I have a beard? It's like a shadow. I don't think I have a beard. Zach. And Dyer, man, thank you so much, man, for the incredible generosity, man. I really appreciate all the support you always show me on my channel, man. He says, Evan Ingram is making the Pro Bowl and not Graham Gano. Do you think that the NFL needs to take another look at how players get in? Too much of a popularity contest. Seems like even evaluating players when they have Pro Bowls adds to too much of an asset. Dyer, and I don't know. I didn't look over the Pro Bowl roster, so I don't know which kicker got in. Maybe there's a kicker that's having a better year. It's possible. Graham Gano was certainly very deserving. I think he's only missed one field goal and one extra point all year. He's been money for the Giants. He's been our best offensive player. I thought he was a Pro Bowler. Graham Gano deserved to make the Pro Bowl. Evan Ingram obviously did not. As far as the Pro Bowl goes, I tweeted it out before the Evan Ingram announcement came out and everything else. I think they should do away with the Pro Bowl. I really do. I think they should do away with the Pro Bowl. It's meaningless. And I know they're not playing it this year. It's a Madden simulation or whatever. I think they should do away with it. Maybe just doing awards. You have the old pros and maybe make that a thing, right? Like an award ceremony or whatever. But the Pro Bowl to me is meaningless. Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. Nobody cares. Nobody watches. I watch the skills competition here and there, but the Pro Bowl is meaningless. I think they should do away with it, to be completely honest with you. I only watch 2 All-Star games, really, and that's basketball and baseball. The NBA All-Star game and Major League Baseball. The NBA All-Star game sucks, but the skills competition is good with the three-point contest, the dunk contest, and I think baseball is the best All-Star game. I don't even think it's close because it's competitive, and the players, it means something to them. It's like a natural game. In the NBA All-Star game, they're giving up like 200 points. The NFL, nobody's tackling anybody. I think they should do away with the Pro Bowl, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, it's nonsense that Gano didn't get in and Leonard Williams did, man. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's a really good point, Duran. Players' contracts are affected by the Pro Bowl. That's an incentive in a lot of people's contracts. That's a really good point. Not everybody's contracts, but certain people. Sorry, late to the stream. Where do you stand on Gettleman? Do you want him back next season? Andy, if you watch my channel, you know my opinion on Gettleman. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna. Here's my opinion on Gettleman. I don't need him to come back. It's not like I'm not gonna cry if he doesn't come back. I think he should be back. That's my honest opinion. I think they had a good offseason this year. I really do, and I think he had a lot to do with it. But by the same token, I'm not gonna cry if he's not back either. Yeah, you look at the most important player he drafted. That was Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones did not progress this year. So I could see both sides of the coin. What I'll say is this: if they move on from Gettleman, they better make sure that they bring in a guy that actually wants to work with Joe Judge, because I want stability. I do not want turnover. I don't want this team to have bad luck next year and win 5 games. They have a couple of injuries and they win 5 games, and the GM says, well, Judge was never my guy anyway. Now I want to bring in my coach. I don't want that. So you better make sure whoever you bring in wants to work with Judge. But then that's the other thing I worry about, because there's going to be a lot of GMs that don't want to take this job, probably because you have an unproven head coach. So it's an awkward situation right now for the Giants. I think it's 50-50, maybe 60-40 Gettleman comes back. But I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be honest with you, Andy. But I do want him back, Davey. I do want him back. I'd rather paint dry than watch the Pro Bowl, Aiden says. Yeah, I'd rather do a lot of things. I'd rather do than watch the Pro Bowl. I'd rather peel 1,000 potatoes. I'd rather tap dance on top of a porcupine barefoot. I'd probably rather do that. I'd probably rather drink motor oil. There's a lot of things I'd rather do than watch the Pro Bowl. It's not very enjoyable. James Kempman, what's going on, my man? Stand up. And Demon, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Hey, feller, I like the camo hat. Now you need some overalls to go go with it. Go shoot a deer. Yee. I've never gone hunting before. Actually. I just like the camo hat. I thought it looked cool on Joe Judge, so I got it. But I appreciate it, Demon, man. Thank you for being such a great supporter on the channel, man. I really appreciate it. Getty comes back. Garrett is gone, Davey says. I'm leaning that way myself. I would say that it's more likely Garrett either gets a job somewhere else or the Giants just move on. And I would say it's more likely Gettleman stays, but it's definitely not a foregone conclusion he stays. Chris, I have a Pokemon card collection. I want to get the cards rated. Do you know how to? Yeah, PSA, you could get them rated. It's just like sports cards. You go to PSA.com or whatever it is, just type in PSA, and you could send in a submission. They'll rate them. Hunting is really fun. You should try it. Yeah, I've never done it before. Dr. Drake likes men. That's good to know, Dr. Drake. That's why you always call me handsome. Michael, what's going on, my man? He says, I feel like we shouldn't sign Golladay or Robinson just because the wideouts in the draft are so deep. We should sign an edge in free agency and then draft Smith/Waddle and get a cornerback in the second round. If they're able to do that, I'm on board with it. I think a lot of it, like I always say, is going to be depending on where we're picking. And and they're going to know before free agency where they're picking. They're going to know where their draft board aligns, and they're going to know whether or not they could get their man. And if they feel like there's a top tier number 1 wide receiver where they're going to be picking, I'd probably agree with you. If they feel that's the best available player where they're picking, don't take the wide receiver in free agency. Now, if they're picking, 5 or 6, and they have another guy lined up there, say they want to take, one of these top tier defensive players there, then maybe you elect, if you could do it, if you can maneuver the cap, to sign a top tier wide receiver in free agency. I think a lot of it's going to depend on where we're picking and where the New York Giants draft board aligns in terms of what they do. But I would not do both, personally. I would not draft the first round wide receiver and sign a wide receiver. I think that's overkill. But Devontae Smith right now to me is most people's wide receiver too. I know he's having a fantastic year, Jake. He's moving up. There's no doubt about it. So he's probably going to be a top 10 to 15 pick. And he's definitely a guy that maybe the Giants could end up drafting in the first round this year. Big Bang, man. What's going on, man? I was talking to your dad earlier. I was saying you've always been a great supporter of my channel, man. Both you guys members, man. I really appreciate the support from both you guys. Thank you very much. You really consider Allen Robinson a 1? I do not. Yeah, I do. I actually do. I'm not saying he's he's not DeAndre Hopkins. He's not that good. He's not Beckham in his prime. But yeah, I think he's a top 10. I think he's very good. You look at what he's had to work with throughout his career. I mean, he played with Blake Bortles on the Jaguars. He's been with the Chicago Bears with nobody. Yeah, I think Allen Robinson's a really talented wide receiver. I think he's the best receiver in this free agency class, actually, to be completely honest with you. Especially when you factor in Kenny Galladay's injuries this year. Galladay may fit what we need more. I think he's more of a deep ball 50-50 threat, but I like Allen Robinson a lot. Yeah, I do. I think he's a top 10 wide receiver. If he's not, he's a fringe top 10. He's a really good wide receiver. Let's see what we got here. Dan says, yeah, I think he's a 1. I do think he's a 1. I saw a guy saying Washington deserves to be good after being terrible for a while. It was some video that the Giants drafted Daniel Jones over Haskins. Can't find the comment to reply to in the RIP. And, I mean, they're due to be good. They haven't been good in forever. It's good for them to have sustained success, though. They still got to find a quarterback. Sorry for the spam earlier, Chris. My phone was heating up, and don't worry about it, man. Are you kidding, Rafat? Don't worry about it, man. And What If I says, let's get some likes, man. Yeah, if you haven't done so, spike that like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you guys for all the support on the channel. Really appreciate it, man. What's up, Chris? Long time, no Daniel Jones pass it. Yeah. Oh, it's been too long is right, man. John says, my family has a ranch upstate. Open invite to come shooting hunt anytime, my man. John, I might have to take you up on that offer. I might have to take you up on that offer one of these days. I might have to take you up on that offer, John. Sounds fun. I've never done it before. And let's see what we got here. Steph's in the chat. They were just talking about Steph. I forgot who asked. Oh, Fix the O-Line. Fix the O-Line said, when are you having Steph back on the channel? There she is. She's on the channel. She's in the chat right now. Corey, man, what's going on, man? What's up, Chris? How goes it? Don't know if you discussed yet, but what are your thoughts on Evan Ingram sneaking into the Pro Bowl? Oh, it's been discussed, Corey. But Corey, man, thank you so much for popping in the stream, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked, to be honest with you. I said it earlier. I think there was probably 7 or 8 Giants I would have thought would have made it before him. Riley Dixon, both our kicker and punter, Dixon and Gano. Obviously, Bradbury, Peppers, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, probably, Blake Martinez, even a guy like Zeitler. Like, I would have him like 9th in terms of Pro Bowl probability. Obviously, he made it because he's a tight end. It's a slim position. When you look at the NFC, there's not a lot of dynamic tight ends, but all you got to do is look at Tanyan. I think that's his name over at Green Bay. He's got 10 touchdowns, same amount of yards. So I don't understand how he made the team. I'm not going to be one of these guys that's, I joke on Twitter. I have fun on Twitter if you follow me on Twitter. So I made light of it, but I mean, I'm happy for him, whatever. He costs us games, but maybe it ups his trade value. He seems like a really good guy, a good teammate, whatever. I'm not going to dwell about it and scream about it. But yeah, he definitely wasn't deserving. He shouldn't be a Pro Bowler. I think even Evan Ingram would tell you that. Let's see what we got here. Chris, if you need a bodyguard for the meetup, I got you. Nick DeWick is a monster. Nick DeWick is 6'6". The guy's a monster. If I ever need a bodyguard, you're gonna be the first person I call, Nick, because I'm only 5'11". I need some muscle, man. I need some muscle, buddy. Everybody follow Chris on Twitter. He's active and it's fun. Yeah, I have fun on there, man. Let's see. Yeah. By the way, if anybody could drop my Twitter in the comments, I know my Twitter, my Instagram. You can follow me there. I'm going to start putting up more videos on Instagram. That's fun. I like doing it. Merry Christmas. What's going on, Montana, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Demon says Dancing Bear deserved to digitally play a Madden or whatever it is for the Pro Bowl. Yeah, he's been playing a lot better lately. Let's see what we got here. True Rapless, what's going on, man? Glad to see you in here, man. One of my best subs, man. He's always in all my streams, man. Great supporter of the channel, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're enjoying your holidays, buddy. What's going on, man? Yo, I'm 5'8" and I go to the gym once a month. I'll be a bodyguard next time you're in Cleveland. That'll be the next time I'll be in Cleveland. Let me think about that, Trevor. Oh yeah, that'll be in 5 years. Well, it's not in Cleveland, but I'll be close to Cleveland in 5 years. And any Giants fan in the chat should know why I'm going to be close to Cleveland in 5 years. Type it in the chat. You should know it. I'll be close to Cleveland in 5 years. And Trevor, I'll call you when I'm on my way down there. Any Giants fan in the chat should know why I'm going to be close to Cleveland in 5 years. Hey, Chris, if we are with the 10th pick, would you rather pick Jamar Chase? I'd probably lean Parsons if he was there at 10. There you go. There you go. There you go. Canton, Ohio, baby. Canton, Ohio, baby. I'll be there in 5 years. Let's see what we got here. Casper says, would you like to see the Saints doing like have a quarterback and Danny comes in on design quarterback run? No. If we're moving on from Danny, I want them to move on from Danny. If they're doing that, I'm not paying a Taysom Hill guy $10 million a year. I don't want them to move on. I'm not saying that, but if they did, I don't want them here as a gadget role. Kadrick says, Chris, by the way, I'm new to the channel. Really like your content. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for being here, man. Thanks for the support. And there you go. Steph just typed it in. The Entertain 85. Make sure you follow Chris on Twitter. He's that dude. I appreciate that stuff. She's got like 5,000 followers now on Twitter. She's growing. If Jones hit, we would have ran away with the division this year. I kind of agree with you. Part of me thinks Barkley going down. I've said that already. Hurt the offense, not just Jones, but the offense as a whole. I think if Barkley stayed healthy, and Jones progressed, yeah, I agree with you. We win this division and we win it going away. To be honest with you. And, you could point to so many games. You could point to the Cowboys game and say if those 2 touchdowns didn't get taken away, we win that game. You point to the Eagles game. We should have won that game. You point to the Bucs game. There's so many games. It is what it is. But the good news is you look at that and you say to yourself, well, as this team grows and gets better and matures, those are games we should win in the future. So it's a stepping stone. Last year we won 4 games against a much easier schedule. This year we're going to probably win 5 or 6. Against a much stronger schedule. So we're definitely a better team. We've competed against good football teams, and next year you hope we take that next step. And for us to take that next step, it's going to come down to health, and it's going to come down to Daniel Jones progressing as a quarterback. And for him to do that, I think we need to get him a couple more weapons on offense. And Owen, man, I appreciate that, man. He says, love the channel, my favorite YouTuber. Well, Owen, man, I really appreciate that, man. I love your picture. Sterling Shepard's been bowling lately. I'm going to give him credit. Maybe not in the stat sheet, but that guy comes to play every week. I got to give Sterling Shepard love. I don't give Sterling Shepard enough love. I don't. He gets hurt a lot. He's a good guy though. He's a really tough wide receiver, and when he's out on the field, he produces. I like Sterling Shepard. I really do, and I hope he stays healthy. He seems like a great guy. He's one of my favorite players on the team, actually. Let's see. Biot says free agency or NFL draft for wideout. Free agency or NFL draft for wideout. Biot's, man, it's hard for me to say, man. It depends. It depends who's available. It depends who's available in free agency. It really is. I think you could go either route. It's going to depend on who we want to take in the first round. We're gonna use free agency like every team does, like the Giants said last year, to set up the draft. So if we think we're taking Parsons in the first round, we sign a wide receiver. Unless we truly love a wide receiver in the second, but it makes it much more likely that we would sign a wide receiver. Giants making it to the second round, Drew says. Drew, I love the optimism. Drew, is that wow, Drew, is that a Michael Jordan Space Jam Toon Squad jersey? You got an MJ Toon Squad jersey on there, holding up one of those fishes? Oh, you're the man. You're the man. I used to have one of those. There you go. Let's see what we got here. Do you like college football teams? Yes, I'm a big Notre Dame fan. Actually, not big, but I'm a Notre Dame fan. Much bigger into professional sports. What's your favorite Christmas movie? That's easy. Home Alone. All right. Whoa. You know what? I'm going to ask you guys. I ask people this all the I'm a huge Tana, did you forget about? Of course I didn't forget about you, Casper. You came on my call-in show. I'm a huge movie guy. Huge movie guy. I get into this debate with my brother, Greg, who I have a movie channel with. We're going to get back to that probably after the football season. I get into this debate with my brother every year, and I want to get the people in the chat's opinion on this. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Because if it is, it's my favorite Christmas movie. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I think it is. I think it is. We got some yeses. We got some yeses. We got some yeses. I think it is. I think it is. Steph says it is. I think it is. No, Chris, that is not one. All right, here's my answer. I'm going to give you my favorite Christmas movies. If Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone. I also love Christmas Vacation. I'm gonna tell you an underrated one. Bad Santa's epic. Elf is great. And I love one movie I really love that a lot of people probably have never seen. Family Man. I like with Nicolas Cage. I also like Scrooged. I'm a huge Bill Murray fan. So there's some Christmas movies for you. But my number one would be Home Alone if you don't count Die Hard. Let's see what we got here. Tana, have you ever watched Moneyball? Yes. Good movie. Good movie. Good movie. Brad Pitt. Really good movie. Yeah, Die Hard. I think so, Mike. Die Hard's got to be a Christmas movie. My Christmas Story is a classic. I do not watch anime. Somebody asked me if I watch anime. I do not watch anime. Can hope for the Pro Bowl. Should have made it. Didn't. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Raphael says, hey, Chris, everyone forgets that Saquon was on the team. He's really important for Daniel Jones' development, and if he could stay healthy next year, no one will want Danny Dimes. Oh, okay, Raphael, I love Daniel Jones. Okay, he's a New York Giant. He's my quarterback. This is my one. Well, this is what I don't like the Danny Dimes nickname. I don't like any nickname. For me, they got to earn the nickname. So until he earns it, I'm calling him Daniel Jones. But I agree with you. Daniel Jones's his most important player in his offense is outside of the offensive line, Andrew Thomas, is Saquon Barkley. And I think that definitely had something to do with it. I think that definitely hurt him this year. It hurt the offense as a whole. I think it hurt Garrett. I think it hurt Jones. I think it hurt the whole offense. They haven't had Barkley all year. Let's see what we got. Oh, Bill Murray's the best. Bill Murray's the man. Bill Murray is okay. Anything Bill Murray's in, but okay. I am gonna give you, and I know we're going a little off topic, but I'm having fun. I like talking movies. I'm gonna give you my favorite Bill Murray role. And I don't know how many of you guys are big movie guys. It's a sports movie. Kingpin. Have you ever seen the movie Kingpin? It's with Randy Quaid and Bill Murray. And Bill Murray plays Big Earn. He's hysterical. He is hysterical in that movie. It is my favorite Bill Murray role ever. Clocks, man, thank you so much, man. Not a Christmas movie. Alan Rickman was a great. Oh, he was. I still think it was. It is a Christmas movie. Lost in Translation is really good. Get rid of Gettleman, Garrett, and pair Joe Judge with a competent OC and good GM. We win 9 to 12 games next year. I think we could. A lot of it's going to depend on. I think a lot of it's going to depend on the offseason. What about? Oh my God! What About Bob is one of the most underrated movies of all time. I'm serious. What About Bob? What About Bob is probably my top 10 favorite comedies of all time. What's his name? Who's the crazy psychiatrist in that? Great actor. I don't know why it's escaping me right now. But Bill Murray is hysterical in that movie. What About Bob is amazing. Let's see what we got here. Bill Murray or Robin Williams? Ooh, that's tough, man. I think Robin Williams is a better actor, but I personally prefer Bill Murray. Richard Dreyfuss, yeah, he was the other actor in that movie. T, it's set in Christmas. That's Die Hard movie is a Christmas movie. Yeah, What About Bob's amazing, Steph. What About Bob's one of my favorite movies of all time. Thoughts on Will Ferrell? He's hit or miss for me. But his great movies are hysterical. Like Old School, of course. Talladega Nights I love. I think that's one of his more underrated ones. Yeah, I mean, obviously Anchorman. Yeah, I like a lot of Will Ferrell. Bill Murray and Ghostbusters, phenomenal. Of Groundhog Day. How can we not mention Groundhog Day? Fix the O-line, man. Thank you very much. It says Allen Robinson or Leonard Williams next 2 games. Who do you pick? Ooh. Allen Robinson or Leonard Williams next 2 games. Okay, so you're asking. Okay, so I think you're asking me in free agency, would you take Allen Robinson? I think it's two separate questions. In free agency, would I take Allen Robinson or Leonard Williams? And then the next two games, who do I pick in terms of the Giants? I got the Giants going 1-1. I got them losing to this week, and I got them beating the Cowboys. I got them finishing 6-10, which was my record prediction at the beginning of the year. And then as far as Allen Robinson or Leonard Williams goes, I think I would. That's a really tough one, man. Leonard Williams has been so good for this defense. It comes down to the price for me for Leo. If they're the same price, I think I'd go with Robinson. I think Leonard Williams is more replaceable, and Allen Robinson would free up a lot of freedom in the draft. That's really tough, man. Leonard Williams has been so important for this defense. Can I say both? Yeah, Elf. I actually watched Elf the other day, like a week ago. Let's see what we got here. No matter how this season ends, you got to be happy with the way the Giants team played this year. Jeez whiz. Going into the year, you couldn't have expected more than what we got. Realistic. If you're a realistic fan, you couldn't have expected more than what we got. Jeez whiz. Maybe you were hoping for 7-9 or 8-8, but that was with every. All right, if I would have told you, cheese whiz, at the beginning of the year, before the year started, DeAndre Baker's going to miss the season. Saquon Barkley's going to miss the season. And the schedule that we're playing, you would have signed up. You would have said we're probably not winning 5 games. And we're not beating Seattle in Seattle. So I think when we look back at it at the end of the year, we're going to say, yeah, the team progressed. The team got better. The defense did better than we thought they would. The offensive line showed glimpses of hope. I think overall it's been a pretty good season. Let's see what we got here. Zeke ain't liking it. Zeke said Die Hard 100%. I missed it. Not a Christmas movie. Listen, Zeke, I get in that argument with my brother every year. And me and my brother, we get into heated arguments about movies. I say it is, Zeke. I'll fight you to the death. Let's see what we got here. Are you going to have a video recapping the season? Yeah, Evan. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to have that at the end of the year. Absolutely. I think OBJ wants, but yeah, I don't think he's coming back though. We hear that every year. I don't think he's coming back. Grim man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. He says it has Christmas Oh, here we go. Here is the argument for Die Hard. Okay, here we go. It has Christmas music, theme music, takes place at a Christmas party, endless references to Christmas. McClane's redemption involves family reconciliation like Home Alone. Yes, it is. Grim Solo wins. I could not have come up with a better argument. As a matter of fact, hold on, Grim Solo. I'm going to take a picture of your comment on my computer, and I'm going to text that to my brother. You just solved it. You just solved it. DH, man, thank you so much, man, for the $4 donation. I appreciate it. You guys aren't going to win the division. Right now we're not the favorites. I think Washington is the favorite right now. For sure. I think Washington is the favorite right now to win it. And I would say we're second, but we're a distant second. I would say Washington's clearly the favorite right now. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. We should G Everman, thank you very much. I appreciate it. He says Stripes hands down. Stripes is a great. How did I not say Stripes? I don't think I said Caddyshack either. 2 epic Bill Murray movies. Another good. Oh, I misread it. You said 100% a Christmas movie. Zeke, that's why I love you, man. We always go back and forth on Twitter. Great minds think alike. Let's see. Ravens fan here, guest starring. Never seen it, but I'll say Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Expecting a closest game, by the way. Well, big man, I appreciate you for popping into the stream, man. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get embarrassed. I think the Giants will give you guys a fight, but I just don't think we match up well with you guys. I don't. And our run defense is supposed to be pretty good. I'll say this. Our run defense was actually good this week. We held them to 3.5 yards a carry. That's the strength of your team. But I saw we matched up against Kyler Murray in Arizona, and you guys have a very similar offense in that aspect with the mobile quarterback. I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we beat you guys, but I don't like the way we match up. Even if Daniel Jones is in the lineup, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get a Christmas present. What's going on there, ER, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Big Blue says, you all see my man, Zach Wilson. I taped it, Big Blue. I'm going to watch it after the stream. I know you are a huge Zach Wilson guy, so I'm definitely going to check it out after the stream. Somebody asked me, did you see Dwayne Haskins hired ugly strippers to celebrate? Yeah, I was talking about that today on Twitter, John. And a matter of fact, you can look this up. If you go to sports reference, footballreference.com, this year he has more lap dances than touchdowns thrown, Dwayne Haskins. And it was said that the singles he was throwing at the strippers was the money that he got from his draft party back in 2018. Dwayne Haskins. But yeah, he what a complete mess Dwayne Haskins has been since he's entered the NFL. Could you imagine Dwayne Haskins with the New York media? Could you imagine Dwayne Haskins with the New York media? He would have been an epic fail. He would have been an epic fail. Let's see. Oh, Zeke, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. If we play zone with a little more pressure, we beat the Ravens. LJ is not the most accurate quarterback. Lamar is not the most accurate quarterback. I like our chances. Listen, Bradbury being out was huge for this Giants defense, and you saw it firsthand. He's by far the most important player on this defense, so I do expect a better defensive effort. And yeah, I mean, he's definitely not as much of a threat in the pass game as Kyler Murray is. That's for damn sure. I've probably watched 3 Ravens games in their entirety this year on primetime. Lamar Jackson does not impress me in terms of throwing the football. And yeah, if we can limit him to throwing the football and not allow him to kill us with our legs, we'll have an opportunity. He's definitely prone to turning the football over. So maybe I'm being pessimistic. I don't know. You know, I try to be realistic. I don't want to get too high. I got too high after the Seattle win, so I'm trying to temper myself down. Maybe we do have an outside chance if we could force them to throw the football. But I definitely worry about the Baltimore Ravens. They have a very good defense as well. I think we're going to struggle scoring points. Our defense is going to have to create a lot of turnovers if we're going to win this game. Clara says Super Bowl predictions. Who's going AFC and NFC? I'm going to go. Right now, if you ask me, Clara, I wouldn't go with this prediction, but I picked it at the beginning of the year, and it's very possible. So I got to stick with it. Before the year started, I said Saints Chiefs. But if you ask me today, I'd probably go Packers Chiefs. I think Aaron Rodgers is just playing on another level. Their run defense does scare me, though. They're definitely not good against the run. They're definitely beatable. The NFC is completely open. Like the NFC is wide open. The AFC is pretty cut and dry. Like the Chiefs are far and away the best team. They could lose. I think the Colts and Bills match up best against them. But I think that the NFC, there's a number of teams that could go. But I'll stick with my original prediction of the Saints. Suzola, man, thank you very much, man. Zach Wilson's pocket presence and arm is insane. Yeah, listen, I've heard great things about him. I've seen some highlights of him. And I taped the game tonight, so I'm looking forward to getting an opportunity to watch him. But people love him. I don't get it. Drip. All right. Drip. Okay. Give me your and I'll be the first to say, maybe I'm biased. I am a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I'll be the first to say that. So maybe I'm biased, okay? I'm going to pull up these stats for you right now. And I want you to tell me how he's overrated. Aaron Rodgers, and then I'm going to get to you 1 second, Big Bang. Big Bang. Aaron Rodgers since 2018. So now you're talking 16, 32, 46 games. His last 46 games, Aaron Rodgers has thrown 10 interceptions in those 46 games combined. Do you know how many quarterbacks have thrown 10 or more interceptions in 14 games just this year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more have thrown 9. So 17, more than half the quarterbacks in the NFL have thrown 9 touchdowns or more this year. He's thrown 10 over the last 46 games. Quarterbacks that have thrown more than 10, Carson Wentz, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Drew Lock, Jared Goff, Nick Mullins, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Kyler Murray, Ben Roethlisberger, Cam Newton, Justin Herbert. I don't see how he's overrated. I just don't see it. Big Bang, man. Thank you very much, man. Getty don't get enough credit on passing on Haskins. All experts saying we should. If you're talking just the quarterback position, he made the right decision. Drew Lock looks like he looks horrible. And Dwayne Haskins looks like he's going to be out of the league soon. So, yeah, now you can make the argument that he shouldn't have taken a quarterback, but yes, taking Haskins would have been a complete failure. Crimson Man, thank you very much. One wish before I die: New York Giants versus New York Jets Super Bowl. Oh, that'd be great. I've only gotten to see one New York versus New York championship in the history of my life, and that, of course, is the Mets versus the Yankees. And I hope I get to see that again, and I hope for a different result. I'm a big Met fan. 2000, the Yankees beat us in the Subway Series, but Giants versus Jets would definitely be that'd be pretty epic. Top 10. Blue Cow, that's up there. I'm not even gonna pull that up there, but that's up there. That's up there. All right, I see you spamming this. We should trade Evan Ingram now. His draft stock is higher since he made the Pro Bowl. What do you? I mean, it depends on what you're going to get for him. And is him making the Pro Bowl really going to do anything for his trade value? Like, I don't know. Like, is a Pro Bowl selection like really going to up his trade value? Or team's going to look at that and be like, oh, he's worth the second round pick now? Maybe. I don't know. What's going on, Danny, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. He says, hey, Chris, how are you? I'm doing good, Danny, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for popping in, buddy. What's going on, Stealth? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Love you too, Stealth. We'll go to 11. It's 10. It's 10:16. We'll go to 11, and then I got to get ready. Going away tomorrow, so I got to get ready. What's up there, Scotty H? Thanks for popping in, man. I don't think low interception stat is an argument for a good quarterback, but I agree Rodgers is a great quarterback, no doubt. I'm not saying it's the only argument, but all right, Andy. Here's what I think about Aaron Rodgers. What's up, Simon? You missed your I've had problems with the wrenches, so I may be knocking them down a little bit. We'll see what happens. But here's what I'll say about Aaron Rodgers. And to me, since I've been watching the sport, I can't think, other than maybe Peyton Manning, a better quarterback pre-snap in terms of IQ. He's the best I've ever seen at the hard count. He doesn't make mistakes. And he's one of the 2 or 3 most gifted quarterbacks I've ever seen. Some of the throws the guys makes is ridiculous. So that's why I always say, in terms of talent, I've never seen a better quarterback. In terms of talent. Obviously, he doesn't have the accolades with the Super Bowls. Let's see what we got here. Number 88 Pro Bowl. Did they see the first Philly game? Shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl, Montana. It's pretty ridiculous. Giants not beating the Ravens. You couldn't contain Kyler Murray. How are you? I agree with you. I'm definitely not picking us. Washington wins and the Giants lose. Washington clinches. Yes, if that happens, Washington clinches. Now, if Washington loses and the Eagles win, the Eagles actually control their own destiny. If the Giants lose this week, the Eagles would control their own destiny because they play Washington the last week. But I think Aaron Rodgers deserves MVP because he has more touchdowns and less interceptions than Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's not even to me. It's not even close at this point, Cameron. Pat Mahomes is a much better supporting cast, and Rodgers having a better statistical season. Rodgers didn't have Devontae Adams for at least 2, maybe 3 games. Rodgers is definitely the MVP this year. So with 2 weeks to play. Let's see what we got here. I still feel like catching Lamar is easier than Murray because Murray is like a fly whizzing. It's pretty close. Now, the difference is Murray is much more of a threat with his arm. I'll agree with that. And Hopkins is a much better wide receiver than Marquise Hollywood Brown. So I can see that aspect of it. The Ravens have a much better defense than Arizona, though. So we'll see. Where does Tana rank Marino? In terms of just pure talent, he's top 3. I mean, in terms of just pure talent. But when you factor in everything else, he's definitely top 10. He's probably 6, 5, 6, 7 in that range. In terms of just pure talent, you could make an argument he's the best. Like he was. You go back, you look at Marino. I mean, his arm was insane. You look at the statistical year he had. I think it was his rookie year or second year. It was on par with some of the stats that guys put up today when it was a run-first league. When the quarterbacks weren't favored the way they are now. Marino's ridiculous. Who do you think should be coach of the year? Coach of the year? To me, I would say right now it's I'm a big Flores guy. I really like Flores. I said Tomlin until they started losing, so it's not him anymore. Let me think here. I'm trying not to look at the chat. McVay's out now. They lost to the Jets. That automatically disqualifies you. I know him for what's his name on the Browns? Somebody probably wrote it. The guy in the Browns, what's his name on the Browns is probably up there. The new coach on the Browns from the Vikings, the offense. Yeah, Stefanski. He's up there. McDermott is up there from the Bills. Yeah, there's a couple. And Chizola, man, thank you very much. If we can shut down their pass game and force them to run against our good run defense, we have a chance. But only problem is our offense got us. That's the thing. We have to create turnover. Our defense has to put up points. Whether it's pick sixes or whether it's putting us in great field position. I don't think we're going to be able to move the ball well in the Baltimore Ravens defense. I just don't. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think we're going to be able to do that. Our defense is going to have to win us this football game if we're going to win it. We'll see. We'll see. LaFleur could win it as well. I would have said Rivera if they would have won out. They lost this week. If Washington went 9-7, I would have given Rivera a chance. Not anymore. I think you should be the Giants' next GM. Hi, bye. I am going to make a video of me putting in my candidacy for the New York Giants GM. I'm going to send it over to the New York Giants headquarters, and we'll see if I get the job. John says Nations can win coach here. What's up, Nate? I love Nations, man. Been with me forever. Great supporter of the channel. What's up, Nations? John says, can you do a Giants history video in the offseason? I personally became a fan when Eli was drafted. Don't know much before then. Hopefully your subs would rally around it. I made a history video, but I was only like the first 25 years, 1925 to 1950, and then I got like caught up. Maybe I will do that. I probably will. I want to do that. I think I will do that. It's not going to be highlights because there's no real highlights. I'll have narration and talk over it. But yeah, maybe I will do that. I'll do the Giants history from like 1925 to 1975. I don't know. I'll do something like that. Yes, I will when I have an opportunity to do it. Gray Wood, I don't know what happened, Ruda. And I had no idea and fixed the O-line. I'm going to get right to that. I'm glad you're here, buddy. A number of my subs were banned. And I don't know and I had a ton of people on Twitter tell me it. And I don't know if it was mods that were doing it or I don't know if YouTube did it. I unbanned everybody. So I apologize. Yeah, that's happened to me 3 times now. So if it happens again, we're going to start from scratch with the mods again. I'll have like 5 mods. But yeah, I apologize, Buddha. And fix the O-line, man. Thank you very much, man. If you could start Leo Williams or Allen Robinson next 2 games, who do you choose? You can't have both. That should be your free agent. Oh, man. Here's my answer. Fix the O-line. It depends on it depends on where I'm picking, and it depends on my draft board. If I don't have a wide receiver there as the best player that I could take that would fill a need, I'd rather have Allen Robinson. If I'm taking a wide receiver, I'm keeping Leonard Williams. If it's the choice between those two, like if I'm taking a defensive player there in the first round, I would stick. I would sign Robinson. But if I'm taking a receiver, I would keep Williams. So there's your answer. Let's see what we got here. Philip says, it's depressing to think a couple weeks ago we were all optimistic and all thought we were going to the playoffs. Philip, man, that's the nature of the league, man. That's the way the NFL works, Philip. Unfortunately, your opinion could change like that. That's the nature of the NFL, both good and bad. You win a game, your opinion changes on the entirety of the season. You lose a game, the same thing. Keely, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Robinson, because we find out about Jones sooner. Well, that's why I said if we feel like we're taking Jamar Chase, I'm not going to sign Robinson because he's basically the Robinson. But if we're not taking a receiver, I agree. I need to find out what Jones has. Let's see what we got here. I think both Giants and No Names will lose this week. I think No Names will not beat the Eagles because Hurts, and we will beat the Cowboys, putting us to the playoffs. Well, don't get too far ahead of yourself, saying, because I'm going to give you a scenario where it doesn't put us in the playoffs. Eagles play the Cowboys this week, Sing. Who do you think is going to win? I think it's going to be the Eagles. Eagles play the Washington football team week 17. If the Eagles were to beat them, they would be 6-9-1. We'd be 6-10. So you would need a Cowboys win against the Eagles, and then you would need the Eagles to beat Washington if we were to lose this week. Because if the Eagles win this week and then they win the following week and we lose this week, we're out. Fix the O-line, man. Thank you very much. Free agency comes first, Tana. Pick one. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Fix the O-line. I will go. I will go. I go Robinson. Because I think we have a pretty stout D-line even without Williams, and I think you could draft another lineman. I think I'd go Robinson. We desperately need a wide receiver, man. But I don't want to have to pick. I want both. But if I had to pick one, I think I'd go Robinson, and it gives me more flexibility in the draft. It makes it so I don't have to I'm not taking a wide receiver in the first round, and I get a proven commodity for my quarterback. I think I go Robinson. I think I go Robinson. What's the point of getting a new quarterback to replace Jones if the new quarterback is going to be in the same situation? Fans love him, then hate him next week. Jones is the guy. Stand up! Nations, man, love your optimism, man. I am not willing to say that he's the guy long-term yet. I need to see more. I need to see a lot more progression. But I am willing to say that he's the guy for 2021. I definitely am willing to say he's the guy for 2021. I wasn't trying to get you to lose your money, man. It was a great question. You had me. It's a really hard question to answer. He says, thanks. I was running out of money. I appreciate it, man. Jay says Giants officially eliminated Sunday with a loss and a win by either one. Yep. If we lose and Philadelphia or Washington, actually, no, not true. Not true. I'm going to give you a scenario where that's not true. Wait. Oh, yes. No, you're absolutely right. My mistake. You're absolutely right. Because that would mean that the Eagles would have. How many wins do the Eagles have right now? The Eagles only have 4 wins right now, right? The Eagles are 4-9-1. What's the Eagles' record? Somebody in the chat tell me the Eagles' record. Do the Eagles have 5 wins or 4 wins? They have 4 wins, right? They're 4-9-1. So that's not true. If the Eagles won, they'd be 5-9-1. And if Washington lost, they'd be 6-9. Meaning if oh wait. Never mind. You're right. Because then the last week it would guarantee one of the two teams would win, and that would knock the Giants out. You're absolutely right. Good call. Yes, if the Eagles or Washington win this week and the Giants lose, we are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. You are absolutely right about that. Absolutely right. Because they play each other. Yep. Are you going to watch Carolina at Washington? If I have the opportunity, I'm going to be away this weekend. If I have the opportunity, I will. What do I think of the movie Invincible? John says. What do I think of the movie Invincible? It's a good movie, very good movie actually. That's the one with Mark Wahlberg, right? The Eagles. Obviously, I hate the Eagles, but it's a very good movie. Not if they tie. You're right. If they tie, you're right. But they're not going to tie. No, well, it's on Bad Dog's channel, Cheese. I may or may not be back in time for it. I'm coming back on Sunday. I just don't know what time. So if I'm back, Even if it's at halftime, I'll pop on. I don't know what time I'm going to be back. I don't know what time we're leaving. It's about a 2.5-hour drive. We're going to the Poconos. So if I'm back in time for the game, I'm going to stream with Bad Dog. If not, I'm not going to be able to. Christmas. But hopefully I am. But either way, Bad Dog's going to do it. What's going on, Rickson, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Hey, Giants fans, you all the best. Rickson's the man, dude. Thank you for popping into the stream, my man. Giants don't deserve nobody in the division deserves the division title. The division's a joke. Great. Nobody in the division deserves to win the division title, but I don't care. Where's the hoodie? The hoodie took a little break. The hoodie's been letting me down the last couple weeks. I had to wash it twice this week, nor Alex. So hopefully it brings a little more good luck this week. Do you think they need to expand the playoffs because the Colts go 11-5 and still not make the playoffs? Well, they have already advanced it. Now you got 7 teams. No. You already have half the league making it. You got 14 teams making it out of 32. Absolutely not. But let me look at the standings. I think the Colts are in. How are the Colts not in? Hold on. The Colts got to be in. Hold on. You've got the Bills and Steelers. You got the Chiefs at the 1, the Bills 2, Steelers 3. We'll just say the Titans are the division winner right now is 4. And then you've got Cleveland is 5, and the Colts are 6. And then you've got Miami's the 7, with Baltimore also being tied for 7. Right now, Baltimore and Miami are tied for the last spot at 9-5. But yeah, the Colts would absolutely be in right now at 10-4. They'd either be the 5 or 6 seed, depending on tiebreakers. Let's see what we got here. Do we have any chance against the Ravens? I fear there's always a chance, man. Any given Sunday. But it's going to come down to forcing Lamar Jackson to throw. And our defense will have to create at least 2 turnovers. So the same thing as last week. Our offense is not going to put up a ton of points on Baltimore. Our defense is going to have to create them. I don't give us a good chance. I'll say 15 to 20% chance, if I'm being honest. 15 to 20% chance we could beat them. But I probably would have said that going into Seattle. I probably would have said maybe 25, 30%. Because we didn't have our quarterback going in. It was on the road. You don't know until you play the game. So we'll see what we come out with. We'll see if we get a great effort from our defense. Is Colt starting this week? Don't know yet. Everything I've heard is Daniel Jones is questionable. So I don't know yet. I would lean that they'll probably go with Colt for 1 more week. Joe Judge came out and basically said that that they're going to be careful with Daniel Jones, as they should be. Fabian says he gives us an 80% chance to win. I love your optimism. G-Man Rising, what's going on, buddy? Giants have an issue with scrambling quarterbacks. Jackson is going to give us a ton. That's what I worry about. I don't know the weather conditions for that game. Hopefully it snows. But, yeah, I worry about that too, man. Historically, not just this team. Historically, we've always gotten killed by scrambling quarterbacks. I don't know if you guys remember the play against, obviously, Vic. We know that. But the play against Vince Young. Remember that play? Not that he was super – well, he was. He was mobile. Matthias Kiwanuka had him wrapped up in the backfield, and he just let him go because he thought he heard a whistle. You guys remember that play against the Titans? It was a big game. I can't remember. I think it cost us a playoff berth, if I'm not mistaken. It was later in the season. Oh, God. I have so many bad memories with mobile quarterbacks. Let's see what we got here. When is the last time the Giants won 10 games? 2016, we won 11. We won 11-5. Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. Who was the best coach for the – oh, God. I mean, Parcells. Got to be Parcells. I love Coughlin. I didn't get to appreciate Parcells. I was born in 85. I saw Parcells more so with the Jets and the Patriots growing up. But I got to go Parcells. Parcells the greatest coach, one of the greatest coaches in the history of the NFL. So, yeah, Parcells is 1, Coughlin 2 in modern-day football at least. Yeah, well, yeah, I remember Blue Collar, that game was brutal. That's one of the worst losses since I've been watching the team, man. Who will be better, Parcells? Oh, Parcells. There's no way I'm putting those expectations on Joe Judge. You're talking about one of the top 5 greatest coaches ever. No way. If we go to the playoffs, no. Saquon's out for a year, they said. We'll be lucky if he's 100% by the start of next season. No, Saquon cannot play in the playoffs. 43 and sunny and oh man. Yeah, so that's not good. Singh says, Chris, I know I'm getting ahead. Let's say we win the division. We beat the Rams in the wild card. Beat the Packers. You're getting way ahead. Beat the Packers in the division. We'll beat the Saints somehow in the conference championship, then beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. If you think that's going to happen, I got a car to sell you. I got whatever. I want to sell anything that I need sold. I got it. I have it to sell you. Anything you need, anything I need sold, you're gonna be the first one I call up. There was no way in hell. We're beating the Packers in Lambeau Field. No. The Chiefs, no. No. Let's see what we got it. Raphael says, hey, Chris, do you think Daniel Jones is going to play this week? I would say 35% to 40% chance. I think they're going to be cautious, but if he's close to 100%, I think he'll play. But I would lean no, but I think there's a realistic possibility he could. Let's see what we got here. That's not that crazy. Let me gather my thoughts. You don't think it's crazy that the New York Giants, one, make the playoffs with what we still have on our schedule, and then we beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? You think we could go toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs? All right. Love the optimism. Montana, I don't know, man. There's something with YouTube, man. I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Well, it's possible. It's also possible that I could dunk a basketball, but I've never been able to touch a rim. Believe, bro. Cairo says, believe, bro. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. What's going on there, Jordan? Jordan's in the chat. He says, I've heard some Steelers fans call for Tomlin to be fired. That's just ridiculous. Look, the Steelers have. You know, it's funny with Tomlin. I hear that almost every year with Tomlin. And I get it. He's been there a long time, but the Steelers are. Last year, they went 8-8 with no Ben. They had Mason, the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer as their quarterback last year, and he had them winning 8 games. Tomlin's a hell of a coach. I need you to do a week-long stream if we win the Super Bowl for charity. A week-long stream? No, I can't. That's not physically possible. I would die. Okay, here. I'll tell you. If we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to tell you this right now. If we win the Super Bowl this year, I will do a 24-hour stream, and I won't take a penny. Anything that's donated will go completely to charity. If we win the Super Bowl, I will do a 24-hour stream. Let's see what we got here. DJ will be the best quarterback in history. Saquon will. Oh God, Nations, I love you, buddy. Amid, man, what's going on, my man? He says, hey, Chris, I want what that previous subscriber. BKC and Amid, he's smoking something good. He's smoking something good. He's smoking something good. Bukala says, I'm not taking sides, but Bruce Willis said Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Hashtag Team Greg. I'm gonna have to debate with the star of that movie then. I'm gonna have to debate with the star of that movie then. I love Bruce, but come on, man. Giants should trade in. Everybody loves Kyle, and I like Kyle Pitts from what I've seen. I don't want a tight end. I don't want a tight end in the first round. I really don't. And I don't think we're gonna be. If we lose both games, we're not gonna be picking 10. If we win one, we might be picking. Who knows? You know, if you look at Tankathon right now, we lose in the tiebreaker because of our strength of schedule. Is stronger than the other teams, at least that we're tied with right now. I think the lowest the best we could do in terms of draft pick is like 6 maybe. And probably maybe we could drop to like 13 or 14. I think we're going to be between 6 and like 13 or 14 if we don't make the playoffs. Montana, I don't know, man. Listen, I don't want my mom's banning people. It might have been YouTube. It might have been YouTube because I've had this happen before. Breaking news: Giants just traded their next 2 draft picks for Patrick Mahomes. That's all you think it would take to get Patrick Mahomes? To get Patrick Mahomes, you would have to trade our 2021 draft and our 2022 draft. And you still wouldn't get him, but you would have to trade 2 entire drafts to get Patrick Mahomes. Let's see what we got here. Division, he says, if we keep being mediocre, I feel like we won't ever get the star of the draft and free agents won't sign to a team that can't contend for a playoff spot. Yeah, no, I guess the worst place you want to be in the NFL. I get it. You don't want to be picking 13, 14, 15 every year. We haven't been, though, Division. We've picked 2nd. We've picked 4th. We've picked 6th. We've been picking at the top of drafts. Still not helping us. There has to come a point where you start to win football games. You have to start to grow as a team. You have to start creating a winning culture. There has to come a point where that happens. So we can't keep picking in the top 6. Eventually, we got to get out of the basement. We'll see what happens these next 2 games. Nation says, what would you want to trade? Barkley, like something that makes you consider it. Of course, I want to keep him. Trading him is lunacy, just curious. I would need at least a first, like a good first round pick. I'm not saying top 2 or 3, but I would need a top half of the draft first round pick at least. Pink man, thank you so much, man. At this point, I'd be happy with Dak. I am not. I know Dak is talented. I know he's a good quarterback. Here's what I say to the people that want Dak. My first question is, do you want to win a Super Bowl? That's your goal? I'm assuming as a fan, you want to win a Super Bowl, right? What has Dak done when he hasn't been making money with a team more talented than ours? Last year, the Dallas Cowboys were one of the most talented teams in football. Dak was making a hell of a lot less money last year than he would be if the Giants were to sign him. They went 8-8. They lost to the Jets. This year, they should have been 0-7 before he went down. They were 2-5. They should have lost to the Giants, and they should have lost to the Falcons. They had the fluke onside kick recovery. So Dak's record really should be as a starter, 8-15 over the last 2 years? When he's not making as much as you'd have to pay him now? When he had more weapons than he knew what to do with the Dallas Cowboys? I do not want Dak Prescott. Crimson, man, thank you very much. Remember this wide receiver, Yeah, a lot of people have told me about him, actually, Crimson. A lot of people have told me about him. And I'm definitely going to do a lot more research on the draft, but there's been a few people that have mentioned his name to me. Give me Ian Book over Dak. Well, Ian Book, you wouldn't be paying any money. Both Saquon and Sterling Shepard is versus Derwin, TikTok boy, and Madden. Okay. Oh, they're playing in Madden. Let's see what we got here. Tana, what do we need to make Kansas City hire Garrett as their offensive coordinator? Well, they're probably going to lose their offensive coordinator, but I don't think I don't think they'd be looking to bring Garrett into that offense. Andy Reid will probably hire from within. He calls the plays. Eric Bieniemy's going to obviously get a head coaching job this year, in my opinion. He'll probably end up with the Jets. I think the Jets are actually, as crazy as it sounds, one of the more attractive spots. Well, now they're not getting Lawrence, though. So maybe it's not as attractive. Maybe he ends up with the Jaguars. I don't know their cap situation, but I think Bieniemy's going to get a job. I think he's going to get a head coaching job. I don't know who's going to take over the offensive coordinator there. I don't think it would be Jason Garrett, though. Let's see what we got here. Plaxico Burress was our best wide receiver of all time. I mean, I got to go with Toomer. Toomer holds all the records. And Toomer was here for a long time. He was drafted by the Giants, I think, in 97. I got to go with Toomer. But in terms of just a pure talent, even though I'm not his biggest fan, I'd have to go with Beckham. But Plaxico Burress was unbelievable. Plaxico Burress was one of my favorite Giants ever before he shot himself and cost us another Super Bowl. But Burress was huge in the development of Eli Manning. He was probably the best red zone target in football when he was playing. He was that good. He had multiple 3-touchdown games, if I remember correctly. And I say it, man, to this day, one of the best individual performances I've ever seen a wide receiver have, ever, was that NFC Championship game against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field in like negative 30-degree weather when he absolutely undressed one of the best cornerbacks in football, Al Harris. He caught for like 120 yards. Like, that's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen a wide receiver have was in that game. Plaxico Burress was a great wide receiver. Let's see what we got here. Evan Ingram's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, right. Plax hopped out of prison and scored like 8 touchdowns for the Jets after not playing for like 2. Plax was great. Everybody knows Hakeem Nicks, if it wasn't for injuries, might have ended up being the greatest Giant receiver ever. Had he been here long term, Hakeem Nicks got off to a tremendous start, and he just had injuries. You know, he was great. He had the 5X gloves, great deep threat, great wide receiver. Just couldn't stay healthy. But yeah, Hakeem Nicks was great. Well, the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I say yes. I think the Eagles are going to beat Washington too. Here's my PR. You want my prediction, Danny? If Washington loses this week, I think the Eagles are going to win the division. I know that sounds crazy. I think the Eagles are going to win their last 2 games. If Washington loses this week to Carolina, I think the Eagles are going to win the division. Best wide receiver, Homer Jones. Okay, yeah. I was thinking more of my lifetime, but yeah, okay. What's going on, Sean, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Chris, you got Cairo, ridiculous. Shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. Yeah, Andrew Christopher. All right. We got a lot of people tonight smoking. A lot of people are smoking and toking tonight. Is it 4:20? No, it's 10:47. It's not 4:20. Shane, man, you have a great night, man. Thank you for popping in the stream, buddy. You're doing I hope I do the 24-hour stream. That means we won the Super Bowl. What happens if Haskins catches the virus or gets suspended from Sunday night's Gentlemen's Club, or if the team gets shut down? I mean, Haskins isn't that good to begin with. If they're going to win that game, it's going to be from their defense. But, yeah, obviously they'll be at a disadvantage if Alex Smith can't play. They'd probably have to start Montez. It was like a 6th or 7th round draft pick if Alex Smith can't go in that game. I've been asked this question all night, Sean. I don't know how. You know what they say in entertainment sports? If you think everyone else is high, usually you, sir, are in fact the one that's high. Is that what they say? Nations? Is that what they say? Phil McConkey? I wouldn't say he's the greatest, but he's a fan favorite. Victor Cruz, I say this all the time, gold standard. Victor Cruz had the greatest single season for a wide receiver in New York Giants history. And it's really not even close. Like, let me look over Victor Cruz's stats real quick. Victor Cruz, everybody, and Eli Manning that year was insane. I always say it, Eli Manning should have been up for consideration for MVP that year. That's how good he was. But Victor Cruz that year was pretty much just as important as Eli Manning. And in 7 starts, he had and he played 16 games, but he didn't really play a good amount of minutes, probably until like week 4, maybe. And he had 36 yards, 9 touchdowns in really like 11 or 12 games in which he actually got to play. Of course, he had the 99-yard touchdown. That one year, Victor Cruz was as good of a wide receiver as the New York Giants have ever had. Justin, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Dwayne Haskins is the new Johnny Manziel. Yeah, he's bad. He's bad. He's the new Johnny. He's just bad. He's the new Tim Tebow, whatever you want to call it. He's just bad, Justin. What's going on, Pedro, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. What about Odell 2014? He had 1,300 yards in 12 games and 13 touchdowns, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm also taking into account Victor Cruz won a Super Bowl, and he was instrumental in winning that Super Bowl. I'm going to factor that in. But, yeah, I mean, Odell Beckham, obviously, yeah, he was unbelievable. But I'm still going to put the 2011 Cruz season over any Odell Beckham season. We won a Super Bowl, and Victor Cruz was as important as anybody. Yeah, so he once he came onto the scene, that offense just blew up. So I will always put the Victor Cruz 2011 season over any Odell Beckham season. Sam, man, thank you so much, man. He says, hey, man, love the content. Keep it up. Let's go, Giants. Yeah, I'm going to try to give you guys – I'm going to be away this week, like I said. So I'm going to try to give you guys some – you're going to get a different scenery. But I'll try to have some videos up for you guys. I'm kind of trying to wait on the offseason stuff. I know a lot of people want me to go into the offseason stuff, but we're still playing meaningful football. Once we're not, if we're not, hopefully we are up until February. That's when I'll start jumping into the cap space videos, the the Gettleman videos, the GM, whether or not we're going to stick with Gettleman, and free agency and everything else. But kind of just waiting for the season to play out. Devin, man, thank you very much, man. Where do you think we would be right now if Jones didn't get injured? To be honest with you, I think we still lose last week. Cleveland was toying with us. I know the final score doesn't indicate it. Cleveland was toying with us. They could have put up 35. We couldn't stop them. They were 9 for 13 on third down. They were toying with us. They were chewing up the clock, but they could have put up 35 on us if they wanted to. Our defense couldn't stop them at all. They were 3 for 3 in the red zone. So I don't think we win that game if Jones starts. And Arizona, same thing. I think we have the same record. To be completely honest with you. I think we have the same record we do now. Dylan, man, thank you very much. How do you feel about Kyler making the Pro Bowl? I'd have to look over the stats. Here's what I'll say about Kyler, and I'm not trying to disrespect Kyler Murray. I know you're a fan of the Cardinals. Kyler Murray got voted in before the year started, in my opinion. Kyler Murray's good. Here's what I'll say about Kyler Murray. Every game, I see the guy play. He's kind of like Jones in the sense that he makes 2 or 3 really bad plays, but he could win a football game by himself. That's what he does. And he's a great talent. He's a great quarterback. He's not to me, he hasn't asserted himself to be a Pro Bowl quarterback yet. But the media has blown him up. So I do not think he's a top 5 or 6 quarterback yet. I just don't. Do I think he could be? Yeah. Do I think he's trending that way? Yeah. But I don't think he's there yet. Let's see what we got. If there was an award for most bipolar fan base in the NFL, the Giants would win it every year. We win one game. Yeah. Well, division, that's just New York sports in general. But there's so many. We say that, Fabi, man, you have a great night. Thank you for popping in. We say that, but to be fair, I think a lot of fan bases are bipolar. New Yorkers are just more outspoken and they're more passionate and there's more of them. But I think there's a lot of fan bases that are bipolar. But yeah, New York fans are crazy. We love our teams, man. We live, and that's why people always say it's impossible to rebuild in New York because the fan base won't allow it. They're not patient enough, so that's why it's very hard to rebuild in New York. But I've been, and I think a major reason why I think I'm more patient than a lot of Giants fans is because of the teams I root for. A lot of Giants fans are Yankees fans, right? And the Yankees are just excellent, consistently excellent. I'm a Knicks fan and I'm a Mets fan. And especially as a Knicks fan, like I've endured impatience for years and not rebuilding the right way. So I am willing to wait out a rebuild and hope that they do it properly because I know for sustained success, you need to hit rock bottom. You need to start from scratch and you need to build. And a lot of Giants fans aren't willing to accept that. And I understand it. People don't want to have to wait 2-3 years for a rebuild for the team to get to where they're going, especially when they've been as bad as they have been for as long as they have been. But they didn't start the rebuild until last year. They should have been 18, but they didn't. But yeah, I just think that there's a lot of Giants fans that are Yankees fans. That's my honest opinion. And I think Yankees fans are impatient. I think that has a lot to do with it. Giants record with Deshaun Watson. I would say, well, here's what I'll say about Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson's great. Top 5, top 6 quarterback. I mean, the Houston has, 4 wins? right? They got like 4 wins. And we got a better defense. Maybe we got 7. But you're seeing there, I mean, he's got no team. They can't block. They can't do anything, and they're not winning football games. I'll say 7 or 8 wins, though. I mean, he's obviously much better than Daniel Jones. I remember the Knicks being good back when they had Allen Houston and Sprewell. Been a long time. Oh God, it's been forever. And the biggest reason, and I can't wait to do Knicks content. I'm gonna have videos up. Probably when I get back from vacation, I'll be doing Knicks streams too. I do that in the off season. I just didn't do it so much this year because the pandemic and kind of I'm obviously mainly Giants and they kind of went together. I didn't have time to do Knicks stuff, but I'm excited to cover the Knicks this year and watch the Knicks. But the Knicks never did it right ever. You want to talk about a team that did it as bad as you could do it? They never rebuilt ever. They always tried to take the shortcut. Oh, we're going to trade a first-round pick for Stephon Marbury. Oh, we're going to trade a first-round pick for Antonio McDyess. And, they always took shortcuts. And finally, they're not doing that. And I'm encouraged, even though they're only winning 20 games. I love what the New York Knicks are doing. I'm willing to wait that out because I've been through such bad times in trying to see this team take shortcuts. Justin, thank you very much. I think we should keep Jason Garrett for one more year. And if Jones doesn't improve next year, then we move on from Jones and Garrett together. I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't be against that at all. And for all the Daniel Jones people that, I think losing Garrett hurts Daniel Jones, in my opinion, in terms of his job security. But I'll support the Giants no matter what they decide. If they feel like there's they get paid to make those decisions. If they feel like there's a different offensive coordinator that's going to get the most out of Daniel Jones, I'm not blind. I see the offense is struggling. And if they deem that it's mainly on the offensive coordinator and they want to make that change, have at it. But it better work. Dylan, man, thank you very much. He has 37 total touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4.4 yards, top 8 quarterback right now. I'd have to look at the numbers. I don't view him as Oh, let's look at the NFC. How many quarterbacks make the Pro Bowl in the NFC? 3, right? Aaron Rodgers is absolutely above him. I'd have Russell Wilson above him. And let me look at the rest of the NFC. Those 2 right off the bat are above him. Let's see. You could argue. Let's see. Let me look at the numbers. Brady's got 32 touchdowns, 11 picks, and he's got almost 4,000 yards. I mean, maybe it's fair he got the 3rd spot. Maybe it's fair. Those 2 are far and away the best. Rodgers and Wilson are by far the top 2. And then you're looking at Brady or Murray, I guess. Or Matt Ryan, who's having a decent he's got 22 and 11. All right. I think it's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair he got in. I'd say either the 3 or 4 spot. I think that's fair. How's Leo Williams not Pro Bowl? How's Graham gonna Andrew, man? I'd have to look at the defensive line, but he was definitely worthy of consideration. I don't know, and again, I don't know about the kicker that got in. Somebody told me actually had better stats than Gano. Gano's about as good as you could get. I think he only missed 1 field goal, 1 extra point. But they both definitely should have been up for consideration, much more than Evan Ingram. Yeah, I know the coaches and players voted for Evan Ingram, which is very surprising to me. What is the Giants' road to the playoffs? Their road to the playoffs, they got to get lucky. But, I mean, obviously their best opportunity is to win out. And if they were to lose this week, the only way they'd have an opportunity to make the playoffs, they would need both. All right, here it is. If the Giants lose this week, because obviously win out is the easiest path, but if they lose this week, the only way they get in, they would need both Philadelphia and Washington to lose this week, and they would need Philadelphia when they're completely out of it and Washington has everything to play for to beat Washington the final week, and the Giants would have to beat Dallas. That would get them in. If they lose this week and either Philadelphia or Washington wins, they're out. Mathematically eliminated. So realistically speaking, the only way they're getting in is probably if they win their next 2 games, and they would need Washington to lose one of their next 2. Tana, is that 48 48 scruff. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I got scruff. I got to shave. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of the members from my Discord are in here. If they are, if you could post the Discord link, I'd appreciate it. If not, what I'm going to start doing, guys, because I get a lot of people that ask me that, I'm going to start putting the Discord in the description of the stream. But I don't see a lot of members of my Discord in here. But I'll start putting it in the description of the stream. Slink Man, he says, Entertainer, you getting the Thomas? I already bought it. I'm waiting for it to get here. I already bought it. They said it's supposed to be. It could take up to 2 weeks. What's going on, Alex Sportsman? Thanks for popping the stream, man. Show Darnay some love. I think so far, great. Yeah, Darnay's been great. The last 2 weeks, Darnay Holmes has been fantastic. The last 2 weeks, he's been fantastic for the Giants. Well, before he got hurt. Entertainment Dog Sports Dog, you need to make a Madden franchise with 32 players and make a dedicated series to one season of it. I think it would be fun for everyone. Well, when I get my PS5, I don't know. We'll see. I'll do something. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something in the offseason. Maybe rebuilds or, I'm not a huge video game guy. Can't believe it. He's not ordinary, Pete. He calls the Lakers games, but he's not a Laker fan. He's a Giants fan. Knicks fan, rather. And I will be calling Knicks games, by the way. Ordinary Pete. So those are fun. I haven't done those in a while. I'll be doing a lot of Knicks games. Gavin says, and Gavin, there he is. Gavin's from my Discord. Gavin, if you could post the Discord link in the stream, I would appreciate it. Is Daniel Jones better than Aaron Rodgers? Yes. Not even close. Not even close. Tana, no, you don't want to talk about the offseason, but would you rather sign a year one wide receiver or draft one? It depends on where we're picking. I would always say draft in an ideal world. I would always say draft. But I think it depends on how high you value who you value at the pick you're going to be at. Do you feel, you name a defensive player, Parsons is so much better than any potential wide receiver that you could draft where you're picking, and do you feel Parsons will be there? Well, then maybe I lean towards signing one. I think a lot of it's going to depend on the New York Giants draft board. I guess that's the link to the Discord there. I don't know if you can click it. You just copy and paste it. Gavin, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much, man. Default to Nintendo Sports. These streams always make being a Giants fan easier. Well, you guys make it easier for me too, because I get to talk to you guys. You guys, I think Giants just as much as you guys. Believe me, that's why I got a Giants channel. I'm always thinking about the team. I'm always thinking about ways to get better and reasons to be optimistic. And talking to you guys helps me too. Are you streaming the play? Yes, I'll be doing Cairo. I'm gonna be doing a ton of playoff streams. Is Bradbury long or short term? Yet to be determined. He's only got 2 more years left on his contract after this year. Yet to be determined. Obviously everybody would have said Janoris Jenkins was long term too after his first year. That didn't really happen, right? So you got to see how he looks in year 3. I would lean short term. Because he's probably going to be 30 at the conclusion of that contract. Maybe you sign him to a short extension. Maybe, depending on how he looks. What is Discord? It's like a chat room. It's like a chat room where we talk sports and mainly sports all the time. It's like a chat room. We're not taking Zach Wilson. We're not taking a quarterback, in my opinion. I'm not going to completely rule it out, but it's not likely. At least the Giants made it interesting. Now, oh God, Ray is a huge Mets fan, and believe me, Ray. By the way, I know you're mainly subscribed to me for my Mets content. I am gonna be doing after the football season because I'm so busy. During Giants are obviously the main part of my channel. After football season, I'm gonna be doing a weekly podcast about strictly the Mets, and I'll probably post it on my YouTube channel. And I think we're going to put it on other platforms as well. I'm going to work with 2 other huge Mets fans. So I'm going to be doing a Mets podcast. It's going to be like an hour or whatever. I don't know how long, but a decently sized long podcast weekly, probably in season weekly, maybe preseason bi-weekly or something. But I'm going to be doing a Mets podcast. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I haven't done a ton of Mets content, and I'm a huge Mets fan. What's going on, Michael, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Entertaining Talking Sports. Do you like any edge rushers in the draft? I also saw us mock Kyle Pitts at the tight end from Florida. Thoughts on this? Yeah, everything I hear about the draft, and I have not done near enough research yet in terms of, second, third, fourth, fifth round draft. But the top edge rusher you hear about is Rousseau. Rousseau didn't play this year, right? He held out due to the COVID. From what I hear, this is a thin draft class at that position. As far as Pitts goes, listen, if we're picking like 18 or we trade, I don't want to pick him in the top 10. I don't want to pick a tight end. I know he's really talented. I know he'd be a weapon. I personally would not want to take a tight end that high. How many tight ends that are drafted that high work out in terms of winning football games? Like you look at Hawkinson. Sure, he's having a good year this year. He made the Pro Bowl. Lions ain't winning nothing. I don't want to take a tight end that high. Let's see what we got here. I would love it. I'm not going to cry. If they feel he's the best weapon and he's going to help Jones the most, okay, have at it. But I don't know. We'll see. Josh McDaniels at Giants offensive coordinator next year. He has familiarity with Judge. Here's the thing, Ezra, and we're going to close this out in like 5 minutes. But here's the thing, Ezra. A lot of people have brought up Josh McDaniels to me. Why would Josh McDaniels leave New England? It would be a lateral move, right? He's already an OC in New England. Why not just stay in New England where there's a high probability you're going to get to become the head coach when Belichick retires? I don't see it. I don't see how it's a fit. Who are you doing the podcast with? I actually had him on my channel like 2 weeks ago. They're called I think it's Slapback Sports, if I'm not mistaken. They're on Twitter, but two of the guys there are huge Mets fans. So I said, let's do a Mets podcast. There's not a lot of Mets people on YouTube. And they're really passionate. Like they're obsessed with the Mets. So I'm like, let's do it. So yeah, that's who it's going to be. They don't have a YouTube channel yet. Would you say Jones or the wide receivers are holding back the offense right now? I'd say both. I'd say both. I think it's a combination of three things. I think scheme, weapons, and Jones. I'm not going to put the blame on one area. Maybe you could definitely make an argument it's more so one area than others, but I think all three collectively, and Barkley being down, I think that has something to do with it as well. Sorry for saying this a lot. Just wanted to get to it before the stream ended. I think the Cleveland game clearly showed cornerback 2 is the number one need without Brad Barry. That's what I said on Twitter today, Nations. I don't know if it's clearly the number one need because I could definitely still see people making the argument about the edge or about the wide receiver. But I agree with you. I think Bradbury being out really showed you how thin our secondary is. And for the defense that we want to run, you need a strong secondary. You need strong corner play. So I agree. It definitely showed that it's a huge need for this team. Let's see what we got here. Do I check not as much, not nearly enough. I'm much more active on Twitter. I need to make it more. I'm going to try to be more active on Instagram, LeVar, but I'm just so busy between real life and YouTube and Twitter. But I do try to, probably like weekly, I'll go in there and try to check the messages. But I'm going to try to be more active on Instagram. If you've noticed, if you follow me, I'm starting to put videos up on there. I'll probably start putting up videos 3-4 times a week. Just fun minute videos, stuff like that. But yeah, I'll try. I try, but I don't always get to them. If you want to message me on Twitter. It's more likely I'll get back to you there. Josh Rosen signed with the Niners. Interesting. I don't rate Surtain. I'd rather Fairley, or if we have a later pick, J.C. Horn. A lot of people like J.C. Horn. He's moved up. And there you go. If you could post the Discord, go on. I'd appreciate it. A couple people asked about that. And Yash, man, you too, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. Hurry up and play Among Us. You guys love and there's the Discord link. You can join there. You guys love. I don't even know. You know what? I'm gonna play it for like a half hour tonight. I don't even know what it is, but you guys keep asking me to play it. I'll play it for a half hour tonight. But you know what, guys? I am gonna wrap it up. I just want to say. And I'll have some videos up. I don't know if I'm going to be live. I know we do the Talking Giants show. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this week. If not, we'll have it on my channel next week because I'm going to be away. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But I can't say thank you enough for all the support you guys always show me. I'll definitely have videos up throughout the week, a couple of videos, hopefully, from where I'm going to be. And thank you guys for sticking with the channel, even when the Giants are not very good. Thank you guys for keeping me sane. Thank you guys for helping me grow my channel. And I can't wait to cover the Giants during the offseason. Can't wait to start covering more Knicks, Mets, if if you're fans of those teams or just want to learn more about those sports. And thank you guys for all the support you guys always show me, man. You guys have a great night. I'll talk to you guys soon.